Welcome to the Fantasy Football Garage. I'm Chris. My friends call me the Candyman, and you already know what time it is. Tonight, we're drafting best ball teams. We're doing NFL playoff best ball. We're going to talk through the NFL playoffs, the real picks of which teams we think are going to advance throughout the bracket to get to the Super Bowl. Then we're going to jump into an FFPC NFL playoff tournament. We've got Who Hames, we've got Hartman. The boys are back in town. And without further ado, let's hit the intro and get right into it. But overall, it's like the guy can ball. Like, actions speak louder than words. Hartman, Who Hames, what's up, fellas?
How we doing?
What's up, guys?
Happy New Year! It's good to see y'all.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for the to start diving into next year, actually, as well.
Oh, you're already looking at these rookie prospects. You're already waiting for that big board to drop. It sounds like.
I will be looking at that next week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I'm waiting for next year. Lions are out,
Yeah.
So on to 2026.
The Chiefs are out. The Lions are out. It looks like
Ravens.
the Texans will have to carry the load for this crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we'll get into it. We're going to go game by game, so
We are. We're going to go game by game, looking at all the playoff matchups, kind of give our thoughts, talk through it, and then we're going to draft some NFL best ball, some playoff best ball tonight. So thanks for being here. If you're watching this, make sure you're subscribed to the channel here, the Fantasy Football Garage. Also, Hartman's channel, Hartman Fantasy Football, and Who Hames Fantasy Football. And if you're watching in the future, throw us a like and make sure you're subbed and leave a comment below and let me know, which teams do you think are going to make it to the Super Bowl? Who are your picks? And so leave that a comment below. But yeah, let's jump right into it. I'm going to throw some on the screen. We can add this to the stage. This is called myplayoffpicks.com. And basically you just go ahead and pick team by team. The first, so we'll go through the AFC, starting with the wild card round. The first matchup we have here is the New England Patriots against the Los Angeles Chargers. Patriots are hosting at home. And I've seen a lot of people's takes on this, but I want to throw it over to Hartman and see, what you're thinking about this matchup. Is it as straightforward as people are saying, or do you have any other kind of thoughts around, who wins this one, how to play this one, fantasy relevant pieces? What are we thinking on this matchup? Patriots at LA, or Patriots hosting LA, to Hartman.
I think the Patriots are rightfully the favorite, but they're like lack of being proven against actual winning teams. It does kind of make it a little questionable. I mean, I think as far as plays in it, really, like, I feel like I'd want to play both teams through the passing games more so. I mean, like, the Patriots are messy. I think both of them have upside, but you're kind of taking pretty big downside risk with either. And then the Patriots have a really good run defense, I believe, or I think they're one of the better run defenses. So, like,
Right.
And Hampton, I mean, he's been okay since coming back, but a little bit slow. It's kind of hard to trust really any Chargers individual pieces. But I think for the Patriots, it's more just kind of going like May, Diggs, Henry would be my main plays. But, I don't know what.
Makes sense to me. Who Hames, what are your kind of first thoughts on the fantasy potential on both of these two teams? QBs, skill position players. How are you viewing this matchup?
I don't know exactly what I love. Like I think these are the two that you can pivot from. Like in this style of contest, the FFPC, right? Like I think that Herbert and May are in play. I think that all the receivers are in play. Like I mean, I'm probably not going to get to Kayshon Boutte. It'll probably just be Diggs. But
Right.
I could see taking Kayshon Boutte as a lower owned guy. I mean, he has absolutely performed several times. I think you build out the rest of your roster of what you like, and then kind of pick whatever's left from these guys. I think that makes a lot of sense to me. I wouldn't hate having a Ramondre or a Travion on a
Yeah.
team. Like I wouldn't hate having Diggs or Hunter Henry. Hampton is perfectly fine. Gadsden, I'm not really that into. I kind of I heard a take today on PFF. They actually think that this game's going to be close.
Hmm.
I I don't know as much. I do believe in the Patriots. I believe that their defense is pretty good. I know they haven't been as good recently, but I do believe that it will be good now.
Sure. One thing I think about for playoff matchups for like real world football, obviously, like, what's going to happen, what's the outcome. I think about the quarterback's experience. I think about the number of playoff games they've been in, the number they've won. And I also think about the defense and the strength of defense. Drake May, obviously, his first playoff game. So you don't hold that against him. But for Justin Herbert, has he ever won a playoff game?
No.
I do kind of hold that against him in some regard. I remember them losing to
Well,
the Texans last
well,
year, and if I think about the Chargers defense, it's not so bad, but the Patriots defense in my mind is a little bit better. I I think that stands out to me. The other point I wanted to bring up was the running backs in this matchup. You have Ramondre Stevenson's been very viable lately. Obviously, we like Travion Henderson. Today, I saw a blurb that Amari and Hampton was not practicing
yeah.
today, Wednesday. Does that make Kamani Vidal kind of an interesting pick? And
Uh,
especially if the Chargers upset, like, is it a big Vidal type of outcome? What are y'all's thoughts on the running backs? I'll throw it back
all right.
to Huhames and we'll start there.
All right. So you ask about Herbert and the playoffs. Not
Yes,
only
sir.
has he not won a playoff game, but he also had by far his worst game of the season last year against the Texans. Like he had four interceptions. He didn't throw four interceptions the entire year, if I remember right. I think he had three going into that game, and he threw four in that game. So like, not only has he not won yet, it's only been twice, but the first game he only had a rating of 84 as well. So he's not played well in either game.
Mm, yeah,
Uh, So I do think that matters. I think that I'll take the rookie the guy who hasn't got to play in that situation over the guy who's played his worst game of a year in a playoff game. And with Vidal, yeah, I think it's fine. Luckily with this contest, you don't have to make that decision until Saturday, right? Like we will know if he practiced Friday or Saturday morning or whatever.
sure. Sure.
We'll be able to switch it whenever.
I I I have not personally looked at the over under the game total in the line on this one. I don't know off the top of my head, but
I,
I'd have to imagine this is somewhat of a lower scoring game and kind of
right.
like a Patriots preferred outcome might be winning this thing by just scoring enough, right? Like a 24-point victory, keeping the Chargers without scoring too many touchdowns,
Yeah.
to two touchdowns or less is kind of probably what they're aiming for, I would think. Or is this potentially a shootout? That's the way I was thinking of it. But Hartman, what's your kind of view on this game environment for fantasy in general and like the point total?
I mean, I did look at the point total. It's like almost every game's at 46.5 or 45.5 this
Yeah,
weekend. And like they're at 46.5. I feel like I'd also probably favor the under a little. I think especially the Patriots defense is really strong. And the Chargers defense, like they're at the best, but I'd say they're an above average defense. So I would tend to lean towards the lower score. And kind of talking about Herbert maybe melting down. That also leads to the lower score if that does happen.
makes sense to me. I think we pick a winner here. It feels like it's the Patriots by consensus. Are there any oppositions to that selection here?
No, not for me.
We move on to game 2 in the AFC wildcard round. Jacksonville Jaguars hosting the Buffalo Bills. Honestly, to me, this is one of the most intriguing matchups in the entire first round of the playoffs. I think we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are a complete team. They're kind of on a heater. Trevor Lawrence is throwing, cool water on all the haters, and all the flames have been coming at him about not being able to live up to his first overall pick, and putting up some nice performances. It feels like a pretty complete team. The Buffalo Bills, it's hard to go against Josh Allen, but they feel like they're just lacking something. And could Josh Allen just take over this game? Sure, that could always happen. But I feel like the Jaguars have a solid defense, and they have enough to, I think, in most scenarios, probably come away with the victory. But what does history tell us in terms of Josh Allen's playoff performances? Does he ever go one and done, and just go out? Has that ever happened, or is he always kind of a guy that's going to find a way to win? We'll start this one with Who Hames. Who Hames' thoughts on Josh Allen and kind of his playoff history?
I
got to take for us.
I'm not positive, but I don't know if Josh Allen's had a first round road game. I think they're usually the 2 seed or the 3 seed, and they're usually against a team that's not very good. And this, I'm not going to say that the AFC is super strong this year, but it's balanced. And I think that this is the worst team he's taken to the playoffs. They are the 6th seed. And the funny thing about this game is the Bills and Jaguars' strength are both on the same side of the ball, and their weakness is on the same side of the ball. The Bills can't stop the run, but the Jaguars haven't been able to run effectively the last month or so. I know ETN's got there, but he's got there in the air a lot. And then the Bills are crazy good at running the ball, but the Jags have over the last month of the season are one of the top teams against the run. So it's very interesting. The only I personally like the Jags quite a bit in this game, but the Bills' offensive line is humongous, and the Jaguars have not had to play a team with that much size yet. So that is the one thing. That's the one thing that could happen.
We've known the Bills to be a run funnel, right? Because they're pretty solid against the pass. But the Jacksonville Jaguars, they've got running backs in rotation. They're ready to go. Etienne's been solid real life. This season he's been just fine for fantasy. He's had some big games. I think it comes down to quarterback versus quarterback and the defenses they're playing. And I'm a little bit more intimidated by the Jacksonville Jaguars defense than I am the Buffalo Bills. Even everything we know with the Bills being pretty stout against the pass. But I want to throw it over to Hartman. Your first kind of take on this matchup, and Josh Allen's history, maybe being on the road. Any obvious concerns or flags that you're throwing out with this matchup that can make you lean one way or the other? Or do you think it's just the Bills and you trust Josh Allen, or do you think the Jacksonville Jaguars have a pretty solid case to be one of the best teams in this entire playoff scenario?
I want to say just believe in the Bills and Josh Allen, but the Jags seem like a much more complete team overall. I don't see the Bills' passing defense is so good. I'm curious if Jacksonville will be able to keep up if the Bills are able to put up points. And I guess I believe in Josh Allen's ability to put up points if he needs to. And I don't know if I believe the Jaguars can keep up if that happens. But I do think if it's more neutral, I love ETN in this spot. I think he's obviously the slam dunk play, right? Even if he has been a little less effective lately, just matchup wise, that seems like the pretty easy play in this spot. But I'd probably lean the Bills, but I'm probably maybe buying into the name brand a little bit too much.
Yeah,
I have to go back and look at the history of the Bills and their matchups. I mean, I remember the Texans beating the Bills, and when I think of the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think they're a pretty complete team, like you said. I hate just to continue to pick the favorite in every matchup, but to me, I'm a slight lean to the home team, to the Jaguars in this one. I think it's gonna be close. This potentially has this could be one of the like bigger shootouts in the AFC this week, even with both these defenses being somewhat solid. I think it just comes down to which quarterback can propel their team forward. I honestly think the way that Trevor Lawrence has been playing lately, he has the ability to score 3, 4, 5 touchdowns when needed. So if that's what it takes, I feel like this could be a game that kind of climbs up and is more of a shootout. And I'm a slight lean to the Jaguars in this one.
Yeah, so the one thing, like the teams are very similar. Like they both want to run the ball. Bills are better at running the ball, but they're way worse at stopping, right? But if it comes down to passing at any point, I know the Bills have been good against the pass, but they've mostly dominated the bad teams in that way. And the good teams like are just running all over them.
Mm,
So like I don't know if they're going to be able to stop a good offense. And like the Jaguars aren't a team to where you just double a guy and take that guy out. They have 4 very legitimate passing like receiving options. Like I
right.
know BTJ, everybody hates him because he was bad for fantasy based on where we drafted him, but he's still a fine player. Like he's their their third, fourth option. Like I just think that the Bills are going to have a hard time covering the entire field the way that Trevor Lawrence is seeing it. Uh, that's kind of where I'm at with it, and I think that like Josh Allen, like I do think that this game will be a higher scoring game though.
Yeah.
I think that both teams are going to be able to do what they want on offense. Like I could see this game getting to like 35-40, something like crazy. Like
I
I could
think if any game in the AFC has potential to be like a high scoring shootout, it's probably this one.
yeah.
Just coming down to the quarterback play. So I mean,
I,
it's tough. It's tough to knock Josh Allen out of the playoffs this early, especially in a year without Joe Burrow, without Lamar Jackson, no Patrick Mahomes.
well, so I if you remove that statement, like let's say Mahomes was in the playoffs and he was in the 1 seed. I think people would be way more likely to just say like I think it's a feeling thing. Like they're like this has to be Josh Allen's year. None of the other people are there. Right? Like I don't think people are looking objectively at the teams. They're like yes, he is the best quarterback left. But as far as the teams go, I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah.
Now, there's a reason
I
there's a 6 seed and not a 2 or 3 seed.
I
Like
I think the Jags are doing a lot of heavy lifting on the perception too. It's hard to believe the Jags is the playoff winner to knock out the Bills. Like just by name,
Sure.
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Just
Of
in your
course.
head, like it's hard to
I
Jags are
mean
good now.
the Jaguars are better coached as well. Like
Yeah.
I'm pretty in on the Jags beating the Bills, but I mean I can definitely do some teams if people like the Bills.
Yeah.
Like I can definitely see the Bills winning as well, but I'm definitely leaning Jaguars myself.
Yeah. I'm probably like
I'm
55,
like
60% Jaguars, which
yeah,
is that's being like generous to how like I'm probably
yeah,
a little bit more biased on some of the other matchups.
right. And I think that this is like I don't think this was a good matchup for the Bills to land.
No, it's terrible for
I
them.
don't
They'd
think
Like
much
it's
rather
a
have
terrible one.
almost
I
like half the other teams would have been better for them.
I just think that like I think they wanted to play the Patriots.
Probably just because the history. I mean, it's never
Yeah,
easy facing your divisional opponent in the first round.
right. And they've played Drake May 4 times over the last 2 years or 3 times, I
Yeah.
think. Or at least 2. I don't know. Don't fact check me. I forgot. Drake May
Yeah,
didn't
don't fact
start till
check.
the end of the
We're
year.
we're gonna go
Don't fact
Jags
check
with this
me.
pick, and we're moving on to my Houston Texans away at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do we lean into the Aaron Rodgers narrative? He's gonna make his last playoff run, try to get to the Super Bowl one last time. TJ Watt is somewhat healthy. He's playing, even though he's dealing with kind of like a weird lung injury that's been burdening him over the last few weeks, and he's back on the field at least. Texans have won, what is that, 9-10 games straight. They're on a huge win streak. CJ Stroud has never lost his first playoff game. He's 3 for 3 in his first 3 seasons, making it to the playoffs. In each of the last 2 seasons, he won the wild card round, only to then lose in the very next round. But, which team is more complete? Which team is competing right now and has the best shot? I think this is one of the lower scoring games of the week, and one where a team could win with like 19 or 20 points. Let's throw it to Hartman. What's your thoughts on this matchup? Who you like?
I mean, I completely agree with that. I think it's going to be the lowest scoring of the week. I lean Texans overall. They're just better defense. I think probably a little bit better offense overall. I mean, they're both so inconsistent, but I think overall the Texans just feel a little bit better. Just through the year, I'd probably lean them. And guys to play, I think Nico and DK would be fine. And then the running backs could be good, kind of lower owned plays or something from either side, depending on injury for Marks and stuff. But
right.
And deeper receivers on the Texans could be maybe plays like Higgins or something, but that'd probably be pretty deep.
My first thought on the Texans receivers is they probably match up pretty nicely against the Steelers, where Nico, they gave him a rest week. Let's say he's fully healthy. Let's just hope with that. Fingers crossed. But even Jaden Higgins is a big play waiting to happen. Both of those guys could easily burn Ramsey and go long. We've seen him give up big plays on the Steelers defense. And so I know the Texans have been able to score touchdowns in the first quarter and kind of get out with a lead and then make it a little bit easier on their defense, where the Steelers would really appreciate running the ball a good amount and not being forced to throw it. They also have the ability to come back in the fourth quarter, which is typically where the Texans have been letting up the most points. And I don't know if that's just because of the scheme and bend not break attitude, letting your opponent come back a little bit in the fourth quarter. But I am a little bit concerned about that if the Texans get out to an early lead and then stall, could Aaron Rodgers really rally the team and have a strong second half and come back? Wanted to get your thoughts, Huhamed, on this matchup in general and any kind of nuance around skill position players that you think fit well for fantasy for NFL playoff best ball between these two teams. Or is it more of an avoid situation, which I think people are kind of leaning to a little bit, at least avoiding the Steelers, and then being very selective on how many and which Texans they take?
I don't think it's a very good matchup for DK Metcalf specifically.
No.
You got Derek Stingley. He also hasn't played for 2 weeks. Aaron Rodgers isn't happy with him. We know Aaron Rodgers holds grudges, right? We know that. He doesn't have to tell us. We can see it. But yeah, the Texans are better in every single area except for offensive line. And if they can protect at all, I think they absolutely run away with this game. But their offensive line is very not good, right? It has improved over the second half of the year. But that is what the Steelers do well. The one thing the Steelers do well is the one thing the Texans are bad at. Kind of exactly like the matchups that we're actually getting this year. We're not getting this team dominates what this team does. Other than this game, it's usually a little bit of both on each side. But with that being said, if they have enough chip pressure, if they're able to chip enough, you're right, Jaden Higgins, Nico Collins could absolutely go deep. And I think that this game comes down to something I've been saying, and if you were in my Discord, you would know. Every time Xavier Hutchinson gets on the field, the drive fails.
Yeah, that's
literally every time, either the drive stalls or there's a penalty that extends the drive. And if he stays on the field for the first down, the drive stalls. And it's not even that he's bad. It's that things just don't go well when he's on the field for some reason. Like that's when the tip passes for interceptions and stuff happen. Like I've been noticing this because I don't like he's ruined Jaden Higgins all year, so I don't like him, right? But like that doesn't mean he's bad. But like it's just kind of funny that that's going on. And for fantasy, I really like Gainwell Warren.
Sure.
If we got to take a pick here, on the Steelers at all, like in the FFPC stuff, like you get to fade a team. I think
Right.
most people are going to fade the Steelers to some extent because you had to fade full fade, not take anybody from two teams,
Right.
and you have to take a kicker and a defense as well. So like that's a lot of options for the Steelers to just not be on the field. And
Texans
I know
kicker.
that like yeah, I think like 80% of the people are gonna probably have like Steelers full faded, and
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time arguing that.
I
Like
know that's
I
where I also think about it. It's like how if you're gonna play the Steelers, what would that
I
be? Like, is Aaron Rodgers is
it
probably very like low selected, and if you're not fading the Steelers, you probably do play Rodgers.
I
Just because of the way they split the work with Gainwell and Warren, they could ping pong back and forth. And I do think this is a matchup where the pass catching running back of the Texans opponent has a nice spot to be in. So is that going to be Gainwell or is it going to be Warren? We've seen it be Gainwell more
yeah.
than not. But then, picking a player who doesn't, if the Steelers do in fact lose, how much do you get out of Gainwell in one game? Maybe 20 points. So it's kind of
I
a
mean,
risky,
like with that being said, like the Rodgers stuff, I don't. You know how the FFPC tournament works, right?
right?
Like
He'd have
if
to
they
make the
get to the
Super
Super Bowl, like do you really like? Do you want Rodgers in the Super Bowl? Like, are you taking because if you take a quarterback, you basically need the quarterback for the Super Bowl because
Yeah,
quarterbacks score
that's
so
the
many
kind
more
of thing
points.
is like
So
if
like you
if
have
all
to
the
build
teams
it
are
as
fading the
Steelers win.
Steelers, the
Yeah,
most logical place to go is like the Steelers quarterback and then not fade them and say actually they're going to make it all the way.
I mean, like that is a thin line, but it is a path that very few people will be on. Yeah, I
Right.
mean, like
But realistically, when it comes down to it, and we only have like this is the other game to pick, and then eventually we have the
yeah,
Broncos to consider. But when I think of the AFC quarterbacks, I assume most people are going to be in on Trevor Lawrence or Josh Allen, and it probably stems from that original matchup if they're not going a Drake May. I see Drake May being very popular as well, but those are the three that I think of as in what the public is selecting for their
I
AFC type quarterback.
Bowl.
I think we're going to get like 70 to 80% of all lineups being an AFC quarterback.
I'd be curious, like, I wonder if you get that same edge taking Stroud or close to it as you do with
Yeah.
Rodgers.
Well,
Like in
exactly.
Sure, no doubt, no doubt.
The
That's also a
diff-
pretty savvy pick.
it's probably a bigger edge because the Texans are actually like the same, basically like the same odds to get to the Super Bowl as I think it was the Jaguars.
right,
Uh,
that's yeah,
I
like
thought I
better
saw
than
that today. They have
yeah,
like
it was
actually pretty decent odds, weren't they? Like
like
plus
18 to
1,300.
19%. Yeah, something like that. So like if you're using the odds, like the Texans, people who are wanting the Texans to Super, like nobody's really going to play Stroud there. They might try to take like Jalen Hurts or something on the other side. And I don't think people are going to play this too often with the Texans in the Super Bowl. I do think that that's a decent pivot point to take Stroud. And then you don't have to pick Nico, which everyone like Nico's going to be major chalk.
Yeah,
And Woody will get taken a little bit. And like Dalton Schultz to me is the play for the Texans, honestly.
yeah. I wonder how much ownership he's gonna get on FFPC though.
Yeah,
'Cause I
because
feel like he's the
it is
first
tight end
name that
premium.
sticks out if you're
Yeah.
going off Nico. Because he was pretty
Well,
hot a couple of those games near the end too, right?
not only was he hot, but like I'm pretty sure that this like I'll double check real quick, but I'm pretty sure this is also tight end premium.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
think
so
everything
like
on FFPC is.
yeah,
right.
and like he has been a monster lately. Schultz has. So like it doesn't hurt you that much if you lose your tight end with the tight ends this year, right? Like unless it's Kittle, but are you taking Kittle with CMC? So like I like Dalton Schultz from the Texans the most. It's my favorite pick on them.
I forget who said that earlier. I don't know if it was during the Badge Bros that they were talking about Schultz, but I did over the last couple of days I've heard a little bit of the Schultz love. So yeah, interesting thoughts there. I kind of like the idea of just going Stroud because
Yeah,
it's essentially do you take, I think in my mind, Stroud or Nico, and if the Texans are going to get through, it's probably on the strength of their defense, but what are you going to do? Win this tournament picking the
Right.
best defense that makes it all the way through? Like, not likely, right? It's not.
Could be.
Honestly, it could be the kicker though, because the Texans
Yeah.
love field goals
They
more than
take the
anything. So
points. They take the points. And like whenever you're saying like what player do I like, I'm not actually including the defense and kicker. But
right,
yeah, like I think Fairbairn is like the play. Like if we have to
Right.
take a skill position, I like Schultz. But
Gotcha.
Fairbairn is awesome. Like
So we're
he
feeling
just takes points every time.
they do, they
Every
love
time.
to. So we're taking Texans on this one. We feel good about that.
I'm Texans, yeah.
Okay. This is when it gets interesting because given the Texans win and the Bills lose and the Chargers lose, the Texans are now the lowest seeded team and they have to face off against the Denver Broncos, which is actually a pretty tough matchup
Yeah.
for
the
them.
Texans
Not ideal.
specifically. Yeah. Yeah, I think if this is the matchup, I think if the Texans get to play on the other side, if they get to play either New England or Jacksonville, that they could win that game. I think it'd be like a 50-50. I think if they have to play the Broncos, I think it's the Broncos pretty handily.
So this is interesting because when the Texans played the Broncos, I think it was week 10 this season. And that was the game that CJ Stroud left the game and Davis Mills had to come in.
Yeah.
The Texans had 0 passing touchdowns and it was still a close game. It was 18-15 Broncos, but the Texans were essentially, all field goals in this matchup. And yeah, they had 5 field goals to get 15 points. It was a pretty close game, but the Broncos didn't do too much either, is kind of what I'm saying, is like the Texans defense kept them in check. If the Texans could have scored 1 touchdown, they would have won that game.
Right. Yeah, no, I think it's like a 75-25 or something. But that's a huge, that's like a 7-point spread, right? 8-point spread, something like that. I don't know what it'll be. I don't think it'll be that. I will like the Broncos though.
Yeah, that was also a home game for the Texans, so give a little bit of a slight lean.
It's going to be outdoor. It's going to be
High.
outdoors, which Stroud doesn't do that often. I know he did at Ohio State. It didn't really bother him there, but he's not done. He's a dome guy now, right?
Yeah,
he's been in the dome for a couple of years. So,
Hartman, any insight on the Broncos here?
I just really don't believe in their offense as a whole against the Texans defense.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Texans have a better shot than maybe that. Yeah, just because I don't know if the Broncos. Well, I mean, just like the last game, right? How it was close even with the backup. It's like I just don't know if I believe that Bo Nix can get him there. I think they should definitely be the favorite and a decent favorite. But
yeah,
sure.
But
I mean, the Texas defense can stop anybody, right?
Right. And the Broncos have been an offense that's definitely been hot and cold sometimes. They've had some crazy blow up games and some real cold games, I feel like.
I mean, the reason I like the Broncos so much is because of the Texans' offensive line, and the Broncos are awesome.
They get after it.
They are very, very good at pressure, and they don't usually have to blitz that often to do it. And you have Surtain to match up with Nico. Nico will get him once, I think. That'll happen. They're both elite players. The offensive guy can win in that situation once or twice, But it's going to take that play to be the touchdown. There is a path, and it's if they get loose on Surtain.
I think it's a pretty close game. I don't have a lot of faith in Bo Nix. The first time, or did we see the Broncos in the playoffs last year? I honestly,
Yes, we did.
we did. And what happened? They lost their first matchup.
Yeah, I mean, it was a rookie quarterback thing.
Hey, but Stroud was a rookie too, and he won his first matchup. So
he also did he look?
it was the Browns.
They
Yeah.
lost to the Bills. Oh man, they got whooped.
Broncos
Yeah,
Bills
so-
last year. That's what it was.
31-7.
Yeah, the Bills' defense was a lot better last year too.
Oh, so it takes
Yeah,
a
I
good
mean, it
defense.
was
I'm hearing.
So
No, I think this is a close one. In my kind of like pattern fitting to say the Texans always go win their first game, lose their second game. I don't know. Does Stroud take a step forward? Is this defense strong enough to compensate? I think it's so close. It's like if there is a fumble recovery or a pick six or a interception that puts the Texans in scoring distance quickly, like that could be a major difference. At the same time, could the Texans just fall flat and not produce on offense, and the Broncos are able to scrape out a win again with like 18 or 20 points? Also equally likely. I know it's in Denver. I'm on the fence. I'm going to let it come down to, I want to start with Who Hames, what's your vote for on this matchup?
I'm Broncos.
Broncos.
I have Bo Nix's stats for last year up right now. He was
Sure.
13 attempts, 22 attempts, 13 completions,
Pretty bad.
144 yards, 1 touchdown, quarterback rating of 93. He got sacked twice, so he avoided the sacks. It doesn't show rushing yards. I think he had some rushing yards though.
Yeah.
Like they just got absolutely smoked. I remember that. But
Hartman.
like that's not that bad. Like it's not good, but it's not that bad. Like he 22 attempts. Like what? That's
It
weird
seems like
when
they're
you.
trying to limit him in some regard.
Well, that was last year, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
they've let him run. Like they let him throw the ball now.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go with Bo Nix didn't even complete 50% of his passes last time he played the Texans. I don't believe I'm going with the Texans.
Yeah.
There
I mean,
it is,
I
yeah.
don't think it's like if the Texans can get past this game, I do think that they're a legit Super Bowl contender.
Boom. Winner.
All
And-
right.
Don't have to ask me twice. That's all it takes. Just a little bit of homerism, but we'll make it through. Patriots, Jacksonville Jaguars. We're still in the AFC, but we've talked about both of these teams. Now we've covered all of the AFC teams. I'm going to do rapid fire round. We'll start with Who Hames. What does your heart tell you? Is it Drake May leading a team, or is it Trevor Lawrence leading a team into the AFC Championship?
I think it is like I really have no idea here. This game, like they're so well matched up. Give me the Patriots though.
Oh,
Slightly.
Hartman.
Patriots by a little.
I'll be honest. I'm a slight lean to the Jags, but it's probably just because of some recency bias. I do think the Patriots are a very good team as well. I slightly lean Jacksonville Jaguars, but of course I think Patriots. I can totally see it. They're the home team as well. Slight advantage there. Let's go that one. And then we have the AFC Championship. It is the New England Patriots versus the Houston Texans. Kind of, two quarterbacks that are the future of the AFC in certain respects, in a situation where there's not Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, or Patrick Mahomes, a very rare scenario to be in for like the last decade in the AFC. I'll start with Hartman. What do you think it takes if this is truly what it comes down to, and you're thinking about this in 2 weeks from now? What are you thinking based on the Texans having to have beaten the Steelers and the Broncos versus the Patriots gutting it out and getting the win against the Chargers, and then Jacksonville neither of these teams had to beat the Bills, which is kind of interesting. Hartman, what would that indicate to you if this becomes the matchup?
I mean, I think to me this is like, you know, all those quarterbacks you mentioned that are out, like this is kind of Drake May's moment to
Mm-hmm.
be, you know, to catapult into that like group, right? Kind of like when
Sure.
Burrow broke through and took the Bengals to the Super Bowl. That was
Sure.
pretty early in his career too, the second or third year,
I
right?
want to say second year, but I'd have to look back.
You should go watch the video of all the throws he made in that game.
Of Joe Burrow.
Oh yeah.
God, he's a stud.
No, it's not that impressive.
Oh,
Oh, I thought
It was
you were
against
glazing them.
it was against Kansas City. Kansas City was up by 21 or something.
that was the Burrowhead
that
year, though.
Well, no, that was the year that Matt Nagy told Mahomes that he had an extra. Like this didn't come public, but like you could see it. Patrick Mahomes called a timeout whenever they didn't have one because somebody told him, Matt Nagy, that they had a timeout. So he threw the ball before, and then he completely collapsed in the second half. Like Burrow did come back, but like, yeah, I digress.
Interesting.
Oh yeah,
I-
but
Interesting.
just like on this, I think it's Drake May's Superman and the Texans. If they're here, it's probably like the defense is probably the reason. So I feel like I would lean towards the Drake May is just gonna, you know, Superman carry his team.
Sure. Who Hames? Do you have a slight preference?
I think I would like. I love Drake May, but if this is the matchup, I'm taking the Texans.
Oh, I did not
Like
see
I
that
said
coming.
before, I am actually a believer in the Broncos. I'm a very big believer in the Broncos.
Mhm.
I think that that's a bad matchup for the Texans. I like the Texans versus the other two teams. So
Wow. I didn't think we'd get here. I almost don't want to put my finger on the scale and pick the Texans just because
yeah,
they'd have to win all away games. What are the
all-
odds of that? I'm going to be a little bit more unbiased here. I think I like the case about like the Superman Drake May and being the home team. And wow, the Patriots make it to a Super Bowl without Belichick, without Tom Brady. There's a lot of storyline there. At the same time, this defense is strong. I'll go ahead for the sake of this argument. You know, in my family group chat, I might have done this exercise and taken the Texans to the Super Bowl. But let's go ahead and pick the Patriots here and move on to the NFC. So we have the Patriots waiting in place. We travel backwards in time. We're back in the wild card round. And we'll kind of rapid fire this one because we spent a lot of time on the AFC, but I'd love to get your guys' thoughts from a fantasy perspective, and then, you know, the real world implication of the win-loss in this matchup. Obviously, it's a NFC division matchup for the NFC North, and so I mean, Bears versus Packers. What has been their history this year in this kind of matchup? Is it going to be that difficult for Caleb Williams in his first playoff game versus Jordan Love, who's made a run in the playoffs? I typically lean towards the quarterback with the more playoff experience. It is Caleb Williams' first time in the playoffs, so there is something to say about that. But I'll start off with Who Hames. Kind of what's the history of this matchup for this last season, and kind of what's your initial thought? Because this is to me one of the more intriguing wild card games of all.
I think for this game specifically, it's basically like a 50-50. I think if you want to look at moving on past this game, I think the Packers don't match up very well. Like the Packers are very sporadic in what they do. Talk about the fantasy players. I think both of these teams are kind of like what I was saying about the Patriots, to where you kind of fill them in last. You figure out what shell you want. And I mean, if you want Rome, you can take Rome, you can take Burden, you can take Loveland, you can take Caleb Williams. He's like probably the only NFC quarterback that I would be interested in. And then like you could take Swift, right? Like,
Of course.
and there was 1-for-1 this year. Like they
Right.
split this year. And on the
Right.
Packers side, if you think the Packers are going to lose, I think Christian Watson is an absolute smash versus the Bears. The Bears struggle covering deep. and Christian Watson, that's what he does. And the game that first game, he had the 22 fantasy points or whatever. And I think the second game was the one that
The
Jordan
second
Love got
game's
hurt?
Malik. The second game's
Yeah.
Malik Willis. Yeah.
Yeah.
The leading
The Malik
receiver was like
Willis.
40 yards.
Right. Yeah. So it was a Malik Willis game. And like, you can't really say that that's a Watson problem.
Interesting.
So I'm very in on Christian Watson for this game.
In a
specifically.
losing matchup, Christian Watson still can get it done.
Even a winning matchup.
Sure.
I think like maybe it's Josh Jacobs, but Jacobs hasn't been healthy. Like
That's
maybe
interesting.
is he going to be healthy now?
If you ask me to pick two players from this matchup, I probably do lean going either Swift and Watson, like you were saying, or maybe even Loveland and
Yeah.
Watson. What's the status on Roma Dunze? Hartman, have we heard anything new on that front? Is this more of a Luther Burden pick? And then, what is your kind of gut feeling in this matchup? They went 1-1 during the regular season. Who pulls it out in this playoff matchup with the Bears at home?
So I feel like on the Bears, my favorite play is probably Loveland. I think Rome is playing, is how it sounds right now. But I think my favorite play is probably Loveland on the Bears. Packers, I'm with Christian Watson. If not, I'd probably go Jacobs because I think if it actually matters, they'll run him into the ground as long as he can stay on the field. Like, he plays through being like injured so often. I feel like in a game that matters, they'll play him more. I lean the Bears overall in the matchup, but I think I'd really want to play it through like Watson, Jacobs, Loveland, and then maybe Burden. Like would be.
I have an interesting take on this though. Like if you don't think the Bears are getting to the Super Bowl, I think the Bears defense is something nobody will be playing, but they're like leading the league in turnovers, right?
Yeah, they do lead the league in turnovers.
So like I don't know if people are really putting that together or that many people are putting that together. Because the Bears have a lot of fun offensive pieces. Like if you think that they win a game, or if you think the Packers win, if you want to go Christian Watson and the Bears defense, like if we end up taking the Packers, and I'm not taking the Packers, but if we end up taking the Packers, like in that scenario, I think I don't mind the semi-fade on the Bears. Because I think that even in a game that they lose, they could get some points, like on defense. And if they go an extra round, if they get a turnover and some sacks in both games, it could be fine.
I honestly, that makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know which way to go in this one. It seems so even. I kind of want to go with the hot Ben Johnson, home team Bears, and maybe Caleb is pretty impressive here. The Packers have been underwhelming. The Packers lost to the Browns at one point. So I'm going to go ahead and throw my hat into the Bears. Hartman, which way do you lean?
I lean Bears.
Who, Hames? Any disagreement there?
Bears, pretty convincingly for me.
Okay. Sounds good. Eagles and 49ers. I was just talking about how much I liked the Bears-Packers matchup. This one is like probably the sexiest matchup of the wild card weekend. This is like a fun, potentially an NFC championship level matchup from two of the stronger teams that have been in the NFC championship game each of the last, I think, 6 years going back. One of these teams has been in. So does one get there this year? And who's that going to be? There's so many fantasy pieces here. I think, obviously, in certain fantasy selections, how do you not take Christian McCaffrey? Do you go with Purdy if you think that they make it all the way, or is McCaffrey still the better pick? And then on the Eagles side, it's like, how do you not take Jalen Hurts if they go all the way, or do you ride Saquon and he's kind of the pick, or you go very contrarian and maybe you pick one of the receivers, or maybe or kicker potentially. So there's a lot of moving parts here, but we'll start with Hames. What's your feel been as you've been drafting playoff best ball teams and thinking through the scenarios with this matchup?
Basically, whichever team I get on, I usually take to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Is how my drafts have kind of went out. I think that this matchup for Saquon is so insane. And I'm just reading right now. It looks like Trent Williams missed practice, and he's in serious doubt for being able to play.
Oh, that's terrible news.
And he's uncertain if he'll practice Thursday or play Sunday. So, like, if he doesn't play, like, I think you have to lean Eagles.
That's like to me. That's like a
That
2 or 3 point swing.
yes, yeah, it is. So with that in mind, I mean, with the Niners, like, you just take CMC, right? Like, and you flex him or whatever.
I guess so, because it's hard to even see Purdy outscoring CMC if they go all the way.
Well, right, and look, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have Kittle, you have Kittle, and you have CMC. Those are the best two players at their position in the tournament. Like, if you like the Niners to get there, you probably want the AFC quarterback. So, like, if you think it all the way through.
That's a good point. And even with Kittle, it's like he wouldn't outscore McCaffrey in total, but it just matters in the Super Bowl who gets the touchdowns. And if Kittle has the performance, and maybe he's the Super Bowl MVP, and it's a crazy thought, but that, because obviously with the amount of touches McCaffrey's been getting, but that I think, it's so hard to project that Kittle could outscore McCaffrey in total, but in a one game scenario where there's a lot of volatility, it becomes more,
it's tight end premium too.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, if Kittle has like 6 to 10 catches and a touchdown or two, that might be all that it takes. If McCaffrey just kind of, it's still hard to see him getting 20 to 30 touches and not producing. But if he doesn't score a touchdown,
it's also hard to be in like, I want to fade the Niners.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's hard to be like, CMC isn't going to outscore whoever I'm going to take on my worst pick, like Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Or DeMario or what? Stephon Diggs. Like, which one are you taking? It's always CMC, right? Like, I think the pivot is you take Kittle.
Yeah, like Juwan would even be too far, right? Like that's just
maybe like
doing too much probably to go Juwan.
Probably, and like Ricky probably doesn't play round one, so and taking their defense is like the most laughable thing I could think of.
Same with the kicker almost.
Yeah, they know they can't stop anybody, so you can't take the kicker. And if Trent Williams was playing, I would like if we knew he was playing and we wanted to play the Niners to the Super Bowl, I think Eagles defense is a fine play. But I think you have to take one of the Eagles. And Goddard's also interesting. Like he was solid in the I like a lot of these tight ends as pivot points. Saquon though, the Saquon matchup is insane. So like if you take Saquon, you're protected because you get the Niners and you are for sure getting that matchup.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is if they end up playing against like the Bears, well, that's where you want Kittle. If you think they're going 2 games, or where you want Goddard, if you think they're going 2 games, or you want the Devonta Smith or AJ Brown because they can't defend the deep passing, right? Because if we like the Bears and then we like the Eagles, I think taking a receiver in that scenario makes some sense. I still like Saquon a little more, but if we like the Eagles, I think I like taking one of the pass catchers because they might dominate against the Bears.
Nope, that's interesting. I mean, you really thought through it. I guess what it comes down to for me is, I think it's a tough matchup. I kind of want to lean 49ers.
If Trent Williams plays, it's Niners. If he doesn't, it's Eagles to me.
That's fair.
Like it's such a big deal, and we're not going to know till Sunday, so you're not going to have that information. It looks like it's not going to happen, but like I'm just going to say Niners. Like I think I'm going to lean Niners.
So it sounds like Huhames and I are both kind of on the fence, but optimistic
Like,
on the Niners. Hartman, do you have a strong feeling on this one?
If you're strong on the Eagles, I will totally be fine
Yeah.
taking
No,
Eagles.
I would have leaned Eagles, but I'm cool going Niners.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
it would have been a lean. It's close.
It's
Yeah.
so close. I mean, this
Yeah,
is going to be a great
I mean, this
matchup.
is
Very
going to be
exciting game.
Absolutely. This is the game everyone's looking forward to.
And it's
the only
go ahead.
or one thing I was wondering about, like I've been hearing about the Niners linebackers. Like, are more of them out like this upcoming week than like even last week?
Yeah.
Like are
They get one hurt like every day.
Yeah, because that's. I mean, I guess so. It's they're already so deep in. How are you gonna say the sixth guy isn't good enough? The fifth guy.
What's
you
the
didn't think
difference
would've
between
been good enough?
the first and the second guy you pull off the street?
Well, I don't know if
Right.
you saw this,
You know?
Hartman, that Fred Warner had a baby in the last like 48 hours. So he's now got dad strength. So have you factored in dad strength into the equation?
He's
Oh wait,
is he
is he
playing?
playing? Because I saw him climbing the beam, and then they were like, "Oh my god, he's back."
I honestly have no idea.
Did you see that video where he's like climbing up the beam outside the stadium?
No.
No, I didn't catch that.
Oh, it's like the exposed mat. He climbs up like 2 stories on it in like 2 seconds.
That sounds insane.
Warner may come back if they get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Okay. So he's not really a factor. But have you considered his dad's strength from a
I want to have fun
positivity
with this
standpoint?
and take the Niners though. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I think smart money. Like, if you have one lineup for a lot of money, I think you play it through Philly. If you want to have some fun, I think you play the Niners.
Kelly says Philly. We got to vote for Philly, and we're such on the fence.
Let's do that. Let's
do Philly.
We'll do Philly.
The Niners are banged up. It wasn't meant to be. McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Eagles are going to try to repeat. So there's some narrative there. Boom. Panthers versus Rams. In short, is there a chance the Panthers beat the Rams again?
So I just looked it up. You know how I was saying that they hadn't went because they lost to the Falcons right afterwards, right? But they beat the Jaguars. I don't know if I count that game because that was the week that the Jaguars decided to fly from London and to play a game at home.
Oh, with no bye week.
So it was like double, like which one's worse? Because no team had ever come back and won if they didn't do the bye week. But then they also beat the Eagles like that. So I mean, I think it's pretty much Rams, like pretty heavily. Like the market thinks so. Like the line's 10.5. I'm not going to be absolutely shocked that the Panthers put up a fight and have a good game, but I'm also not going to be shocked that the Rams win by 32. Like,
sorry,
you're good.
I was just gonna say too, when the Panthers won that game, like it was a pretty it was pretty surprising circumstances in a row, like multiple 4th down deep bomb conversions for touchdowns.
Yeah, they faked short runs to throw Hail Marys basically to deep receivers twice on a if I don't get it, I lose the game situation.
Right. And they both
both hit. Like the odds of it were so insane as you were talking about. It took all of that and they barely won. Right.
Yeah. Well, they also had didn't they pick 6 or something like right away in that game? Is that where Stafford
No, well, I think the Panthers did one, I think.
Like the Panthers picked him off and took it to the house, right?
I don't think. Did he? Okay.
Yeah, I that's what I remember.
So let's talk about the fantasy side of the Panthers though. I think everyone's going to full fade the Panthers. I think that McMillan can put up enough points in this game to definitely be worth taking him as leverage. If we think that 70% of the field's not going to play a Panther, I think taking McMillan, hoping he gets his 20 points, 18 to 20 points, that could be enough to separate you in the final rounds.
Is McMillan just fancy Jalen Coker?
I mean, maybe. I mean, I would not be opposed to throwing a Jalen Coker on there, but like, I think like you're already different by taking McMillan, like by playing any of the Panthers. Like, I don't think you need to dive down if you're taking McMillan.
Go a
Sure.
little crazy to take Bryce Young when he makes it to the Super Bowl.
I
How
mean,
many
if
Bryce
you
Young teams are there?
Crazy call. That's how you win the whole thing is you picked
Well,
Bryce Young.
well, that's like if I was doing like 15 of these, I actually did a Bryce Young team earlier today on the playoff best
Insane
ball.
work.
And I was like, this has no chance, but we're doing it.
If I had more confidence in the Panthers' ability to run the ball, I think it'd be more competitive. But I can't pick against the Rams here, so I'm gonna go Rams.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Rams.
Yeah.
Okay, boom. That brings us right back to the Rams versus the Seahawks
Such a
because
good
the
game.
Seahawks are the 1 seed. They get to bye throughout this season. They, correct me if I'm wrong, split 1-1, and both of them were very close games. And so it kind of came down to whoever is the home team had the slight advantage. And I think they play it in a similar way. The only question is, it really comes down to in the playoffs, the defense and the quarterback's experience. We have Sam Darnold. Has he ever won a playoff game in his entire career compared to Super Bowl, winning quarterback Matthew Stafford, who's having, as some would vote, a MVP season, but that's kind of what I'm leading into with this. How do you view this one, Hartman? What's your kind of take on this matchup if it becomes what we get in the divisional round for the NFC?
I mean, I think this is like as close to a coin flip as you can really get. I mean, there's a lot of good plays in it from the fantasy perspective, but I feel like I'd maybe lean the Seahawks just because they ended the year stronger. But it's really hard to pick either one. I mean, I'm personally like more of like the Rams are a team I like more or would want to win more, but maybe the Seahawks just had a little bit more momentum coming in, kind of locking up the division like that at the end of the year and stealing all the momentum away. But yeah, really tough call. All the plays feel good. JSN, any rant like JSN is the only one that really feels good on the Seahawks, I guess, because the running backs could be good, but you're kind of taking that big like downside risk.
Sure.
And then all the Rams pieces I think feel pretty good. Kind of same thing with running backs though. Maybe you're taking a little bit more downside risk with Kyron. But
yeah,
receivers.
I even struggle to think about, the optimal Rams run out. It's like, which piece would you even want? I guess you could go Puka or Stafford and pretty straightforward, but could it be a running back situation as well? And then do you go Kyron or
could be Devontae?
No, I
Yeah,
gotta
it
say
could be Devontae the same way.
like it's probably the safest pick. Like it's all about who gets the most points in the Super Bowl. So whatever
Sure.
the Super Bowl matchup you have, like we have them playing the Patriots. So whatever
Sure.
that matchup is, like if they're playing the Broncos, like you probably want the wide receiver too. And I think
Yeah.
I think that they would actually force Devontae to line up against Surtain. Is how they would play it.
Interesting.
But yeah,
Are you sold on the Seahawks, Hames?
Do what?
Are you sold on the Seahawks? Do you think they have a chance to actually win playoff games?
Yeah, I think they do. I think that all the NFC teams are really good as well.
Yes.
Sam Darnold is not making turnovers, right? Like he's not doing the thing. I do think that it is very important for the Seahawks to not get more than a touchdown behind at any point. If they get down more than 7 points at any point, I think that's really, really bad for the Seahawks. I don't think that that's a situation that they can really come back with. And to talk about Sam Darnold for this format, I don't think Sam Darnold is a pick like even worth thinking about, in my opinion.
You would just go JSN if you thought they go all the way, or do you play it through?
Right, because how often is he hitting and that's the guy you want? Like you either wanted Barner or you wanted JSN.
Sure. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. I kind of favor.
I'm favoring the Rams though.
I kind of favor the Rams. I think we all are in agreement there. I think Hartman was slightly favoring the Rams. I know it's an away game. They played it very close. And if any team's going to beat the Rams, at this stage, the Seahawks seem like a perfectly good matchup to get it done because of the way they've played them already this season, and they beat them at home. But I just come down to the quarterback play, and it's like, do I really believe in Matthew Stafford or Sam Darnold? And I have to go with Matthew Stafford. I think Hartman feels pretty strongly about that. A known Sam Darnold hater.
I didn't even get to my Rams point. So, like, the last time they played, they didn't have Tyler Higbee. And now that they have 4 tight ends, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
They pulled Puka off the field to play multiple tight ends. Like, what are you doing?
Wow.
Like, but it works. Like, it's working. So
they have been running that a lot. Yeah, it's been interesting. Yeah. We're picking the underdog here. We're the Rams. That brings us to the other divisional round matchup, the Eagles and Bears. And to keep it, we've talked about both these teams so far, so kind of to keep it brief, but I have some faith in the Bears. I have some belief in the Bears. I think I don't know, with this whole Ben Johnson thing he's got going on, if Caleb can hold it together and be a guy, I think the Bears are a pretty complete team. Obviously, the Eagles are good. I know we think they have a good chance of going back to the Super Bowl or even back to the NFC Championship round, but I'm gonna just throw it out there. I have a slight lean to the Bears on this one.
Same.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
I think it's a slight lean too. I think it's like a 55-45, 52-48 kind of game. Or not points, but like percentages.
Yeah.
I'd maybe be just barely on the Eagles side, but it's hard to even say for sure. Like this game's really close.
The thing that I'm thinking back to is the Bears went on the road and beat the Eagles already this season. And I want to say, wasn't that I want to say that was like Thanksgiving week.
That was the Black Friday.
Black Friday.
So I remember watching that game, and I was just kind of thinking to myself, that was probably peak belief in what the Bears can do. And they've let us down since then. There's been, some games that are pretty underwhelming. But at the same time, that was a strong showing there.
Jalen Carter, I don't think played in that game, and Jalen Carter being in the game matters a lot. Like maybe he was in that game. I'll look it up real quick.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I could pull up the box score.
Yeah, I didn't see him in the defense box.
Okay, he did play. So okay. And they absolutely ran all over him. Their offensive line moved every single member of the Eagles. The Eagles are supposed to be the physical team.
Yeah.
If Jalen Carter was in that game, I think they just absolutely dominate him again. Because that game wasn't close. Like,
no, it was the Bears dominated.
It was absolute domination. And I think that, and they like, the domination wasn't in the air. It was like in the air, you could kind of, maybe they just have a bad game. I'm full in on the Bears if Jalen Carter was in that game.
And Jalen Carter in that game, he actually had like one of his best games of the year. He had a sack. He had 1.5 stuff. He was killing it.
Did he play or did he have his best game of the year? We're not sure, but let's go Bears here. This is fun. Comes down to Bears and Rams, and
I think this would be a fun game.
Yeah,
like I think this would be so much fun.
What do I see happening? I see the Bears trying to run the ball and control the game. I see the Rams obviously throwing it in the red zone and picking apart the Bears a little bit. I see an experienced Matthew Stafford always keeping it within one score, regardless of what's going on. Can Caleb Williams elevate a team to a Super Bowl? That's the ultimate question. I'm going to toss it over to Hartman. Is Caleb Williams him?
I don't think he's there yet. I think the Rams take it, but it wouldn't shock me if the Bears won it all, but I don't know. I think the Rams just overall, I believe in them more, probably to just be consistent the whole run and, always put up points. I think the Bears could maybe like have some trouble in this game kind of keeping up. But
who was the last NFC quarterback to win 3 straight road games and take a team to the Super Bowl?
It was probably Matt Stafford.
Was it Matt Stafford or was it Tom Brady?
Oh yeah. I don't know. I
It's
was
been
just
done.
asking.
It's been done, but it's hard to, that is just a lot to
Brady
stack
won
against
the
you.
division, I believe.
What's that?
I think Brady won the division.
Yeah.
Did they win their division? So they were,
Yeah.
but they still, that would have been one
They were
home game, I
mid
guess.
that year, though. They might have not won the division.
I mean, that division's always mid. This year,
Yeah, that's true. It doesn't take
I
much
mean,
in that
this
division.
year the winner is 8 wins.
Yeah, fair enough. Because they only had like 9 wins that year, I think, but that might have been,
that's
that
like probably
wasn't
4
enough.
games above number 2.
Yeah, fair enough. I forgot what division they play in.
Every year.
How quickly we forget like the history of the playoff like stuff.
Yeah.
Like I always this time of year I love to go back and kind of review what had happened and how teams got to the Super Bowl and things. It's always just kind of a fun time to reflect on that. But yeah, like year to year, it's just like things change so quickly. I don't know. It is hard to win on the road that many times, but I don't know if Caleb Williams is him. Who Hames, do you think the Bears are a good enough team that Caleb Williams is enough to get them there to the Super Bowl?
I have the Rams.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because the Rams have been all year, they're like one of the best at keeping people out of the end zone with a run. So
Sure.
it does come down to Caleb Williams in the red zone. Now, if Caleb Williams can play like he can, like he plays so good and then just has like 2 or 3 throws in a row that are just so far off. But if he could just tuck the ball and run a few times, I do think that they could win the game. But I'm going to lean the Rams.
That's an interesting point. Yeah, if Caleb Williams just has that Drake May Superman kind of game that we were talking about for the Patriots,
he's got a couple rushing touchdowns this year too. So
yeah, no, I can see that. That's an interesting case. I'm going to go Rams. I think we're all going to go Rams, but that is a good case for the Bears. That makes our Super Bowl matchup the 2-seed Patriots against the 5-seed Rams. And I mean, we've talked a ton about these teams. It really just comes down to, I think, what do you see this being? Is this a shootout? Is this a low-scoring game? I personally think this would be more of most Super Bowls are hard to predict, but I think this would be one that would come down to like the last drive of the game and potentially whichever quarterback has the ball. Do we see some kind of miracle from Drake May and he is, that guy, or is it Stafford with a big comeback? I really don't. If this is the matchup, I don't see one of these teams running away with it. I think this is actually a situation where a big turnover or a last minute game-winning drive would decide the game. We'll toss this one to Who Hames. Given everything we've said about the Patriots and the Rams, in this scenario, who would you pick as your winner?
I'm going to say the Patriots, and the reason why is because last year we could have had a Kansas City Super Bowl and Travis Kelce off to the sunset. This year we could have the same thing, but we're going to have neither one of them. It's going to be a trend every year. Some old guy is going to get there, not going to be able to do the old John Elway, and come back the next year to try to like get there again and just completely fall flat on their face. I don't believe that with next year for the Rams, but if Stafford's there, but like, I mean, who would have thought that Kansas City won 6 games? Like, but like, I think that the Patriots could get there. I do. I agree. It's a very close game, but I'll lean Patriots.
Hartman, pick a winner.
Rams.
Rams.
Stafford, he's not riding off into the sunset. He's pulling the Tom Brady. He's going to win it and then still come back and just not be worth it.
Nice.
I'm not going to lie. I think, and
I would love to see it.
It's not like you can win today's Super Bowl with a career of, behind you, but I think there's something about experience. I think if Drake May gets to the Super Bowl, it's more likely that he loses it than wins it. but he does set the precedent for him to try to get back to it and get that W at some point. And he's got 20 years to figure that out. But if the Rams get there, I have a hard time picking against them. I'm gonna go Rams. Kind of, I think like what you were saying, Who Hames. If the 49ers, the Eagles, or the Rams get to the Super Bowl, they're most likely to win it. So I'm gonna lean there. But you did pick Patriots, but I'm gonna go Rams. Who Hames, last thought?
My last thought is the night before this is when we find out when the MVP is. I'm going to take whichever one loses the MVP
to win it.
To win it.
Yeah, that's smart.
Like, I don't know which one is going to be. And that's kind of why I was leaning May, because I believe Stafford will get it with the whole. Like, I think Drake May deserves it this year over Stafford. But, like, it's close.
Yeah. It's a tough one. I think Stafford just to the touchdowns. That's the only. It's kind of like the only thing he has, right? I guess over him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Drake May, he has a better record, but I mean, who'd he beat?
Neither one
would that guy ever beat? Yeah.
All right. I shared the FFPC screen if we want to look at the lineups here. So I mean, we could keep this up and just kind of talk through it. So like based on this, like we need either Drake May or Matt Stafford, right?
Because and I think those are the two best quarterback picks. Like, I mean, obviously, whichever one makes it here, but like, yeah, I think those are both insanely good picks. And the only other pick I would make for the Rams would be have to just crystal ball and go, is it Puka or Devontae in the Super Bowl? On the Patriots, God, you probably go running back, right?
Well, so like so I don't hate the Stafford thing because I think it will be pretty low owned.
Sure.
And they use tight end so much now. Like even if Puka has a monster game, like there's a solid chance that all the tight ends go or get the touchdowns.
You're not wrong. Yeah,
I'm cool like I don't hate it. I still like Puka the most, but like I think that's fine, right? Like if you're trying to turn $35 into like whatever.
What's the size on the one thing I don't know is how many entrants there are in this tournament because it matters a little bit to me.
16K.
Yeah.
16,000 entrants and it's just one final, right? It's the whole scoring, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like
in 16K, I would think that is large enough to go for a low owned piece rather than just I want to be a little contrarian.
Right. And not having Drake May on a Patriot Super Bowl, I think, is contrarian for sure.
Yeah. And I think it's equally likely that a running back could put up enough points to matter given they win 1, 2, 3 games and make it to a fourth. So like whether that's Ramondre or Travion is up for debate. But I think I'm pretty cool with Stafford as the quarterback pick.
All right, so
here, I'll toss.
I think if we're gonna
on the screen, or should we keep this up?
I remember what we picked, so you can bring that up. We could work backwards, but like I said before, I kind of like figuring out other things and then like getting to the other, like the Jaguars, the Patriots, the Bears, and the Packers. I think picking those last make the most sense.
Sure.
Obviously, you're not going with a kicker or defense on the Patriots, right? So, like, we look at all of the teams that we have losing, first of all, before we leave this. Which defense do we want? Because we probably want a defense from a team that we have losing, right? So, do you want it from the Steelers? Do you want it from the Packers? Like, which one of these teams do you think scores the least amount of points? Probably the Texans, right?
Steelers seem like the play, but they're probably also ownership-wise going to be
right. But we're
higher
owned, right? Like so now that we have Stafford, I fully think that that's unique enough. We could take best plays.
Okay, all right.
Like
I would lean Steelers then
because
the only thing about the Steelers though is
or Broncos.
I have to pull it back up. Like I also
that's the second best play. The Broncos is the one that I think that makes the most sense because we have them only playing one game. And they're also playing the Texans.
And to lose a score from the Broncos during the wild card, it doesn't if you're losing a defensive score in 1 week, it's not that big of a deal, right?
Like, let's be honest. If the Texans,
Well, because
beat
you got to
Broncos,
lose.
you didn't want any of the Broncos. like,
Well,
right.
and after week 1, you automatically have dead spots, right? So like you want it to be your defense as the dead spot, I guess. Like as
Right. And it's
Yeah.
it's championship week. Is it 1.5 points or
I think it's 1.5. I
you
will
want to
check
look that up
quick.
real quick? I don't
Yeah.
want to leave the screen since I have it up.
Yeah, I'm checking real quick. I'm on the FFPC.
But because that matters a
Oh,
lot.
double.
No, that's the Super Bowl. Is double. Is the
Oh, yeah.
championship week. Like,
Oh no, championship week's just normal.
okay, yeah. So
it is normal.
okay, well then, I think taking the Broncos defense makes a lot of sense there. Are you guys cool with that? Or do you
yes,
like the
no,
Steelers?
I think you're right. Because as I'm looking at it, for a team that has to lose, if it's going to be a close margin of victory, Broncos. But yeah, no, I think that makes sense. I don't think the Texans are going to run wild on the Broncos, even if they do win.
So if the Texans, and I think our next question is, if the Texans are doing this,
How?
is it Nico? Is it Woody? Or is it Fairbairn?
It's definitely Fairbairn.
Like, I mean, taking the kicker that we have getting to a championship game, like, it's full PPR. I like Dalton Schultz.
I see what you're saying.
Because one good game from, like, if he has 6 for 80 yards and a touchdown in one game, that's 9, 17, 23 points in one game.
Versus a kicker is going to max out
kicker.
But Fairbairn, I mean, so a field goal is obviously 3 points, right?
Yeah.
Plus 1 for extra points. So Fairbairn could be averaging 10 points a game. That's like 30 points.
Right.
So
but in that one game, it's like, and it's not super unlikely that
right.
one game he gets 6 for 60 and a touchdown to get 20 points, which means he just has to get 10
touchdown
points.
is the part I don't know about, though. He's not been a big touchdown guy. He's been a yardage and reception.
He's been
fine. I want to say he had 3 touchdowns in the entire season.
And they were all recently, right?
He has 3 on the year. 2 of them were in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, so somewhat recently, but
right.
My counter to Schultz would be, we also have the Bears going just as far and playing just as much games. Would you rather go like a Loveland there, who's been hot?
Well, but we
don't have to make this decision yet. Like, we're just kind of talking this out. Like, I think Schultz is, like, I like Fairbairn as an option. I like Schultz as an option. I think most people will play Nico. I think Nico is perfectly fine as well. So I think that those 3 I'm okay with. If you guys want to veto any of those, we're perfectly fine doing that.
I just have
if you want to share the screen as well.
Yeah, let me go ahead and throw this up. I just have a hunch to go Fairbairn, but I get what you're saying, the game theory of it, of like how we selected the Texans to move along. But my next question becomes, of all of the other teams, which team has a kicker that you would feel, are we punting kicker, or do we think we can actually get points out of it? And I feel like with the Texans, you can get some points out of it. But
I think because we have to have dead spots on our team after the first week, you want the dead spots to be your defense and kicker, right?
Right.
Those
I think that's what everyone kind of assumes, though, right? But I just wonder, like, what would it take for a kicker to outscore a flex?
But it's full.
Fairbairn is the number 1 kicker to have.
Sure.
Right. Like I think that's, like, if you want actual points from kicker, I think he's the one that, like, which one can get you 20 points in a week? It's probably Fairbairn, because that's the style of games they play.
Yeah, it's like 5 field goals.
But if they are playing that, like, are they going to hold down all of the, like, I mean, they could hold down the Steelers and the Broncos to basically nothing, right?
Sure.
I'm a believer in the Broncos, but I could see that happening. So I think I'm okay with doing that, but I would much prefer either one of the other positions. And
Okay.
I think taking the defense for like it'd probably be the Steelers then, right?
Yeah.
Like so which two teams like do we want to full fade? Like are we gonna full fade the Steelers? Are we gonna full fade the Packers? Do we like the Christian Watson matchup? I think I like the Christian Watson matchup as a one and done flex.
To
Because you're gonna lose some
mm,
of your flex anyway.
I think
Um,
Steelers, I like either defense or just fade probably
Yeah. And
would be my 2 ideal spots on it.
like
DK is okay, I'd be fine with him, but
I'm not
not
saying we have to do CMC, but we're just gonna like throw him up there for now.
no, I'm good with that because I feel like that's what we'd want to do, right?
It's
How
that
much?
or Kittle, and we don't have them moving on. And if they're losing, I mean,
just take the points the 1
Take the
week,
points. I mean, you
right?
still get 20 to 30 points out of CMC,
right.
even if it's one game.
And I kind of want to make sure I have a tight end that kind of gets a little far as well.
That's why I was thinking like Loveland could be nice because the Bears get pretty
Yeah.
far in this version. But
And
like
well,
as you're saying, the exact same thing as Schultz.
yeah, Schultz, Loveland, Hunter Henry in the Super Bowl. Like
That's where I'm just not sure with the Patriots. I feel like it's
I don't.
hard for me to go Hunter Henry. I'd rather
I
go running
agree.
back.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying it's an option,
Right.
right? Um, so like I don't think we want Kittle there. I think that we want to make sure we get him. Other obvious picks like the JSN. We have the that's the other thing. We have the Seahawks losing in round 1, right? In their first game as well. We have both
Yeah.
1 seeds losing their first game. So this could be the other kicker
I
as well.
think that's not
Oh,
a
and
bad idea.
he's actually the number 1 kicker on the year, right?
Yeah.
Myers? Yeah. Like Fairbairn's like 2 or something. I mean, they're both right there.
Let's load that up. Let's do that. Let's do that.
I
If
mean,
we're
we
gonna,
could change this, right?
yeah,
And
if we're gonna punt
that
kicker, let's go
leads
there.
us to we semi-faded both 1 seeds because that's how our bracket played out.
Mhm.
And now
Yeah.
we can full fade two of the guys. Like we could do what everybody's gonna do
Whoa,
in the
though. Should we be full fading the Broncos or the Seahawks because they already get the bye and then we think they're gonna lose?
I mean we could do that as well. But like there's no difference between the teams we think are gonna lose in round 1 and round 2.
Right.
If they're the
Because
1 seeds.
we'd
Because
replace them
it's
with like Steelers, Panthers, who
yeah,
we think are going to lose anyway.
right.
But
Like
if
if
you
because
if
those
you
are
put a
probably the 2
team in
likeliest
your
fade at the
because
moment.
you're getting one game. Yeah, I see
You're
it.
getting
Okay,
one
okay.
game and there's no multiplier on the points. So
Okay, that's right. That's right. I had to think about
yeah.
it for the multiplier. So yeah.
And like doing this gets it to where like I think like a Kenneth Gainwell could be fun for a flex kind of thing. Like I wouldn't mind
do too.
getting to Gainwell or McMillan, one or the
No,
other.
I think Gainwell is a very, very good pick. Honestly, better than McMillan.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And that's just like something like I mean we're unique already because of the Stafford thing, and then this is very unique. So we could probably just full fade what everybody's doing and build out like all absolute chalk the rest of the way. Like
Right, because we have so
could
many
do it.
flex positions. That's where like I do
Yeah.
consider going Gainwell. I'm good with CMC. For the Bills, do we just take Cook?
I mean, you have to take Cook, right? Like
Right. You
that's the
want
only.
to.
Well, it is against the
Number
it
1 rush
is
defense.
against the team that's really good against running the ball right now. But I think if Cook is like I think if Cook is doing well,
Touchdowns.
it's because they're winning as well.
Yeah. Land
Cook is
your
the
only
touchdown
other
machine.
option really is Kincaid probably. I mean, you could go Shakir,
Yeah.
I guess, but like
You
Kincaid's
can
the
go
only
Keon
like,
Coleman.
realistic.
Or do we just full fade the Bills? That's another question.
That's the other option. Like, and now we're like if you full fade the Bills and you have this, Like
Oh,
we're
yeah.
just chalk all the way through, right?
I think it's actually kind of an interesting way to play it, to full fade the Bills, because
Yeah,
we
I
could
don't
put Cook
hate it.
in. We could put Cook into a flex at the same time.
And that would put us at Saquon, right? Which we want because of the matchup.
We want
Yeah.
Saquon. I think that's an obvious one there.
And then
unless we just like punted tight end and went like Goddard.
then we could take the chalk Nico,
Mhm.
right?
And I
And if
like
we
the Watson
I'm
for the
pretty sure I
Tuesday.
want Nico because I think for the Texans to win,
Yeah.
they're going to have to score at least
It's-
one touchdown a game, and that's
it's
usually
him or
Nico.
Schultz. Like I think it's him or Schultz. And we could always move that to Schultz if we need
Let's
to.
Let's go Nico, and then let's do Loveland for the Bears. Unless we
I
do
kind of like
Smith.
this the most.
Yeah.
Like I do think that this is the best iteration of
Yeah.
that. And then running backs, if we full fade, like we need a Packer.
I think
Watson.
Watson.
Yeah, we'll take Christian Watson.
I
and
like
then
ETN for a Jag.
Love
I
ETN.
don't know.
I'm good with that. I really like ETN as well.
Super high floor, and the ceiling wasn't there all season until it was for like the last 3 weeks.
Right. So like with this is a like Josh Allen cooks round 1, but he doesn't bring anybody with him. Like he has 38 points week 1. Right. But it doesn't matter because Stafford puts up 40 in the Super Bowl, so he outscores them because he get double points. Like,
Yeah,
and if that happens, like if they lose and Josh Allen gets 30 plus points, like Stafford only has to get to 20 points to outscore him, and he gets multiple games. So like
Josh Allen had a lot of bad games this season too, where they didn't do anything.
Well, if he does well, like like if he's doing well though, James Cook isn't crushing, right?
Mhm.
Like if he's dominating, like so in this, we want him to have a hero week 1 to where they lose.
Yeah.
Right.
Makes sense, yeah.
And I
Because
think
then
that
we
that's
automatically beat him at quarterback.
We haven't picked our Patriot yet. We
Right.
Do we go Ramondre or Travion? And what's the status on Travion?
Or Diggs. I'm fine with any of it. I mean, it's been Ramondre, and like as soon as he came back, he got the big role. So which one are we going to full fade? Are we going to like? I think we kind of agreed to take Gain. Like if we're going to fade Cook for Gainwell, like I'm okay doing that. We could still just fade Steelers and take James Cook though.
And when you put it like that, it does seem tough.
Yeah, right. Like
Hey,
that's the thing. Like I don't hate the idea. But I mean we have to full fade one of them, right? Or we could just full fade both. But
and take a Panther.
But that means you got to play Tet, right? So like
Right.
you got to play Gainwell, or McMillan, or Cook here. The Chargers though, like are they the team we fade? We haven't even talked about the Chargers.
Yeah,
Like, that could
that's
actually
tough.
be the team to fade.
It could be the team to fade. I honestly think for the Patriots, we play it through Travion. The more I've thought about it, it's like Ramondre
think
had
so, too.
like a fourth of his entire yards on the season in the last game alone. Travion's getting more touches. He's the bigger explosive player. It's Travion for me.
Yeah. What's up, Coolers?
I wanted to say that. I was scared of
I
that.
assumed that. So Leg Up has been live this whole time, I think, doing the same thing. I didn't know that was going on until I loaded up YouTube, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Is that right? They're trying to compete with the boys.
Yeah, who do they think they are? So, like, I think we could just fade, like, the chart. Like, I think fading Cook is too cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, we're already super unique by doing this down here and this up here.
To me personally, my favorite play left would be Gadsden. I think,
Really?
but like, I think to like go, but I guess you don't need to go crazy. Maybe that's just.
I guess in this format though, it's like because the tight end premium actually
I was
helps a little bit. You want to get a few. It's like you're treating the tight end as like as valuable as a flex, so you don't really
Yeah.
want to waste it.
Whenever I do a solo one, like I'm gonna do one or two off street. By the way, this is the name.
Perfect.
There, I should be able to remember that,
Yeah.
and it sounds funny if you try to say it out loud. But I'm definitely going to do like a Dalton Schultz plus like Loveland style team.
Yeah, with 2 tight ends, that's interesting.
And like we could totally do that here.
Mm,
I'm fine with the Nico. I'm fine with what we have, but that is something is still on the table. Like if we really wanted it, but that would force us to take another wide receiver.
Okay, so teams we have not drafted yet. We have not taken a Panther. We have not taken a
Yeah.
Steeler
A
or
Steeler
Charger.
and a
Steeler
Charger.
or Charger. And the goal is obviously you don't take 2 teams. And so
Like
I'm cool with either going Gainwell or no Steelers. I do not feel strongly about any of the Panthers. I'm cool with the Panthers being my least favorite team. And then for the Chargers, man, they have it's so hard to pin down who that guy is. I mean, do you guys have a hunch if it's McConkey versus Gadsden versus, Hampton could be limited? Do we go Vidal? And that's kind of a little bit, is that, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it's just taking a dart, right? Like we have a one and done.
McConkey.
I mean, I'm fine with
Think about
McConkey.
last year. I mean, I know it's a different year, but McConkey put up 30 points in week 1. They went out. That was enough to get you.
I'm fine with that.
That feels fine.
I'm fine with
Yeah.
that. I'm fine with Gainwell. I do think that if we have Houston winning, that it's less likely that Gainwell really gets there. It is full
Sure.
PPR, but like, which does help Gainwell. So what do we think about this? We have Matt Stafford to be more unique because I don't think a lot of people are going to be doing that because Puka is such an easy click. So like we're unique, like that's our piece to get the most unique, and then we have both of the 1 seeds losing in the first round. So by the way, I've said this on my stream before. I don't know if you've been listening, but my favorite play for this tournament is actually Bo Nix quarterback.
Yeah, you've been saying that.
I just want that out there. I think that the likelihood of the Broncos getting the Super Bowl is pretty high. Like I think it's above 25%. Like I think the market has it at like 30%. And if they get to the Super Bowl, like you don't want any of the other pieces at all. So I think that Bo Nix captain, like quarterback, is the absolute play. If you're gonna build one to where you have the Broncos in the Super Bowl, I think the only choice is Bo Nix.
It makes sense to me. I guess
Like
I have to really think through, could you get there with one of their other pieces? But it doesn't seem likely.
even
Maybe running
Have
back.
to be like Harvey, and even
Yeah.
then, like
even
he'd have
when
to
Harvey's
hit.
getting there, a lot of it's passing touchdowns or receiving touchdowns
That's
lately.
true.
So I
You
think
need to
Bo
hit
Nix
the NFC quarterback, right? Like it'd have to be
Well-
Hurts or something.
Well, that's the thing. Like you have to what NFC matchup versus the Broncos do you want the 2v2 of Cortland Sutton or RJ Harvey versus CMC and Purdy, right? Like or Jalen Hurts and Saquon. Like
Yeah.
like maybe the Bears. You could argue the Bears.
That was the one
Right.
I was thinking. That's like the only one. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
I mean, the
generally,
Eagles, I think, could be close, kind of, but
I mean, there's definitely a game script to where
But-
it's Sutton.
but
and
yeah, but in
Jalen Hurts.
general, like
Right.
in general, you want the Knicks side.
Yeah, this is the FFPC contest, Coolers. Yeah, and if he's 6%, I'm gonna do like 4 or 5 of these by myself, and this one is a community one. We're gonna do I think 3 more of these. I don't know if we're gonna do those on stream or off stream, but I'll go ahead and submit this one because you could change it. I'll go ahead and does it automatically save it?
I think probably because you're already like in the league, like you're registered or whatever.
All right, let's see. Yep. Okay. It remembers it. So
Oh,
if we
yeah.
want to make a change, we can make a change. Like if we want to take lad out or whatever.
Sure. We'll think
So-
about it. Throw a screenshot and then put it in the DMs on Twitter, or just tag me on Twitter and I'll retweet it. But let's throw that out there just so we can keep tabs on it, and then also just kind of fun just to have it out there. Well, I don't know, because do you want to promote it or you don't care? Because people could like technically copy it, or you don't really care.
I mean, I can just text it to you guys in our X in the X feed.
okay, I'm not
like,
going to
I-
tweet it out then because I just thought about that. Let's just
Yeah.
if people watch this, it's cool if they want to copy it. I mean, technically they
Yeah,
can.
like I mean, there are very small pivot. Like if you like the shell here, like don't copy one for one, but like
yeah. You
take
pivot,
Quentin Johnston or Gainwell or McMillan or whatever, and
Exactly,
use everything
exactly.
else.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
this
laugh
is-
at us whenever we made the wrong decision and you won all the money.
Exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
It's just
We're not really guarding it, but at the same time.
right. Like I just don't like. I don't think anybody's gonna put this exact lineup. Like I don't think Stafford is going to be super high owned. Everybody's going to filter towards Puka, and I think that a few people will filter towards Devontae Adams because he's the touchdown machine. And if you don't like, we have them in the Super Bowl, right? So this is a game script where they just throw to the tight ends. They get 2 tight end touchdowns, even if Puka and Devontae both have one, right? Like it doesn't matter.
Right. So 1,600 entrants. My final thought is
16,000, right?
16,000, yeah.
Okay, I misheard you. I thought, honestly, for some reason I anchored my thought to 1,600. 16,000,
Yeah.
that makes more sense because 1,600 would have been full already.
And 1600,
well-
like this is way too unique, I think. Like not that it matters if it's what we like the most, but like part of the Stafford thesis is low owned, right?
Well, now I'm thinking out of 16,000, is this unique enough? Do we need to have one piece here that is slightly under owned?
We saw. I mean, I think like we saw faded both 1 seeds. I mean, that's a decent.
Okay.
And the Stafford thing.
Like that trio of things is probably like it might be a one of one there. Like, and then you still have to make the same decision on Travion, Christian Watson, and Ladd.
Yeah, I guess just with no pods, with it being just one shot, you just get duped. Like, don't dupe me, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And like there are a lot of little pivot. Like most people are gonna have Saquon. Yeah, most people are gonna have Saquon, McCaffrey, Nico.
Did the
James
team that
Cook.
won last year did they split it? Did it get chopped?
No. So Karain was talking about that earlier today. I think it
didn't
was
catch that.
not a single team that was duped once got in the top 29. So
Really?
all
Wow.
the top 29 was all unique. And every team that was duped like the most duped team was 15 times. And the second was 14 or 16 and 15. And neither one of those won any money.
I guess there's enough flexes here that would make sense. But to me, the combination out of 16,000, it almost seems like it should be more common. I think that just comes down to the number of combinations of teams and then the assumption on which teams advance, and you have to full fade somebody. So I guess it does make it more unique than I'm expecting. But yeah, it's interesting to know.
Well, and this year is going to be a lot more unique as well. Last year there was a lot like
Travis Kelce Chiefs, and everyone thought the Chiefs were going to make it.
Yeah, well, everybody thought it was going to be Chiefs.
It was just which Chiefs you take.
Yeah, it was Chiefs Eagles, and like 80% of everybody just took Travis Kelce because it's tidy premium.
Xavier Worthy,
which is why I took. I didn't take any Kelsey. I took Worthy and Pacheco on my teams. Pacheco being a bad pick, but like I mean, if I was going to take them to the Super Bowl, like I play the NFC quarterback.
Yeah.
But anything? Are you guys wanting to do the other ones, or do we want to do those later? Like,
It's up to you guys. I mean, I got one ready if we want to do it right now, or it's if you
yeah.
guys are
And if we do a
on one.
second one here, we could just do full on like just what we think the best plays are, and then kind of figure out what the Super Bowl is later.
Yeah. Let's.
Like
I'm
I
gonna
think the
bring up.
I think we should try one. Like even
Well,
like
like
just build out the Bo Nix thing, and if you guys don't like it, it's fine. Like we could scrap it and filter it in something else. Because I think
yeah,
the
I'm
Bo
down for
Nix
bonus.
quarterback stuff is like going to be very underused.
I'm open to it, but yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm down.
I think
Like especially if
I
like
think that's a good play too.
what Cooler says there, and he's projecting 6%, and Corain was pretty close on a lot of the projections last year. And if he's 6% owned, that's insane to me. The
Yeah,
one
especially
seed
with the Super
quarterback
Bowl odds.
with like with an absolute elite defense and the best offensive line in the league. Yes, he's inconsistent. There's a reason he's going to be that low owned because nobody believes in him. Bo leaves, right? Right, Hartman.
Bo
It-
levers.
Yeah,
uh,
believe.
so let's build that out.
Yeah.
Which is funny because on mine I didn't get the Bo Nix, and I'm trying to talk you guys into this on the other one.
Yeah. I
Uh,
I
it
mean,
doesn't matter.
I think
They're all community.
I feel decent with the Bo Nix play too, especially like you said with the ownership. That I actually didn't even know
Like
until
even
like
if it's
Cooler said that.
10%, I think that's too low.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fair.
especially given just their Super Bowl odds.
Right. And like it's not like the Seahawks where if they get there, you probably just want JSN. Right.
So yeah, I mean, I think so. There's a chance one of the running backs, but odds are it's just JSN.
So in this one we have the Broncos. You guys decide what NFC team you want in the Super Bowl here. It doesn't matter to me. You pick anybody.
I'm going to throw out
Other
49ers, and that means you have to have McCaffrey in my mind. So
Yeah.
I feel like there's a chalk situation where it is the Niners. McCaffrey just hits you 20 to 30 points every single week, including the Super Bowl. And if you didn't have him, you could not have even finished in the top 30. I'm just making a case, but I'm up for debate.
I mean he gets 20 points every week. So I mean the only argument is, do you want Kittle? Like if Kittle puts up 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl, you had to have him because of the premium.
True.
That's the only argument, right? That's literally the only argument. Because
Right.
if you get 3 games leading up to the Super Bowl, what's the odds that that Kittle even tight end premium is going to have CMC outscored? It's all about which one of those two has like he
Has
has
the
to have
double
good
points.
games. He has to put up the points and outscore him in the by a lot in the Super Bowl, basically.
Right.
So I do think the CMC is the probably the correct play there.
My case for CMC, I mean, you guys are. I mean, it's the same thing. It's just
it's CMC.
He just averages so many points per game, and yeah, it's this. I think the path is just a little bit cleaner for him than Kittle, but I do understand that like if I had 10 of these and I was projecting the 49ers to win the Super Bowl a fourth of the time, then I'd probably want one McCaffrey and one Kittle. At minimum.
Yeah, like another thing, like I think we can go ahead and just lock up JSN, right?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that seems
Like
obvious, right?
so this is the
we
one
faded
like
them last time.
Puka and JSN.
yeah, might as well. Like so this is the one where we
Or
could be
Devontae.
super unique and do the whole fade bill, like full fade bills. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Like
Sounds good.
Like if we
Yeah, I mean,
if we want to do one of those and we're taking these chalk pieces. Like, I
Mhm.
don't know if it's too cute to full fade Bills.
I
But
mean, it's just fading James Cook, really, and he has
yeah,
bad
right,
games
right,
sometimes.
because we don't have him go to the Super Bowl, right? So
Or we do that move.
yeah, that's the other
Probably
one.
not.
Yeah, I do.
Um,
Do
yeah,
you
I
think?
mean, I'm open to fading the Bills. I guess. I mean, like, where should we build? Should we figure out where we want to go, like defense kicker first, or should we?
I think we figure out what two full fades we want.
Coolers had a question in the chat,
Yeah.
and it's a perfect opportunity for me to pull up in this
Yeah.
Sutton overlay that I have for no good
Nice.
reason, and just had to throw that out there. But yeah, I think potentially Cortland Sutton's like one of the least owned pieces that, given the Broncos are in the Super Bowl, like actually could have an outcome that would be like you'd
I
want to have him.
I
So
mean,
like I'd probably get to Sutton if I did a high number of teams, but I think it's a pretty narrow path for that to work out. But I mean, the guy has a decent argument
well,
for his floor too, right?
I think we're gonna see a decent amount of Sutton in the tournament. Like not a lot, but like what 20% ish, maybe. And Harvey will be like higher.
Oh, just because
Uh,
they're people are
be,
assuming they're a flex that doesn't get all the way there.
yes, and then and you're gonna get those teams. Like every team gets to the Super Bowl. Like we don't have to advance. You just get him in the Super Bowl.
I get what you're saying. So like you might not predict
Yes.
him to make the Super Bowl, but if you're
Right.
just saying he was a flex and he loses round one and they get there, you
Yeah.
kind of lucked into a high end scenario for Sutton if he's the guy you needed.
Yes, if he was the guy you needed, and I think that
But then you
there'll
have
be
to have an NFC
like
quarterback. Is kind of like he would like as Coolers was saying. Would you
right,
want Darnold then?
right, and I think that those teams are going to accidentally get built more than like purposely get built.
Here's a thought: should you have more flexes of the opposite division to your quarterback in general?
I mean, you mean full fade on the side that like because we full faded Steelers and like so what you're saying is like because we had uh Stafford in the last one, we could have
Yep.
faded like Niners, like not the Niners, obviously, but like I think on the AFC side that's perfectly fine. I
It's
think if you
easier
take
with
an
the
AFC
AFC.
quarterback, if you want to just fade the Chargers and the Steelers, it's perfectly fine.
Because the likelihood that you see what I'm saying? It's like you
Or
don't
the
want to. You want
Texans,
to have as
right?
many
Right.
flexes as possible to line up against your quarterback.
Like I don't think I personally don't think there's ever a time you full fade the Texans. I think that Fairbairn's too good, like too decent of a play. And like I think if you predict them to win one game and lose the second game, the Texans, I think that you might want Fairbairn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm
Yeah. Bill's kicker is actually a solid thing as well.
he did get
I'm fine with
hurt
that.
last week though.
Yeah, he did.
So I don't know if he's good to go or not.
I mean, that's like like I don't really care about that. Like the Bills go for it on fourth quite a bit, right? Like they trust Josh Allen. It's the playoffs. They're going to be trying to move the ball, doing that stuff. Like in this scenario, like Josh Allen has a really good week one, and he holds James Cook down, or Ty Johnson and Ray Davis get there, right? Like that's this scenario, and they don't make it to the Super Bowl, even if they get to 2 games. Like it's very unlikely that James Cook fails twice, but like it is possible.
Yeah. I mean, so are we thinking James Cook or are we full fading Bills?
I
We're fading Bills, right? Or
we can fade. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Like we could fade. We could take Cook. We could full fade Bills, and then like full fade Bills Chargers or Bills Steelers.
Yeah, I think this would be interesting because we have the Texans kicker to keep a Steeler, and then to just do
Yeah,
full fade on Bills
yeah.
and
Do
Chargers.
do Gainwell. Yeah.
all right.
I like that.
I do feel pretty strongly that if the Steelers win, that
Gainwell.
it could be on a Gainwell
Yeah,
game.
I agree.
The pass catching running backs have tended to do well against the Texans defense when their defense reverts to a bend but don't break mode, and then it's just the opposing running back kind of racking up a lot of dump offs, and if Aaron Rodgers can carry them to some kind of victory, and it's a one score game, then that's a situation where I feel like Gainwell's on the field. Or do you guys think that it's still kind of Warren? I don't know. I've gotten burned this season trying to predict the right play on Gainwell versus Warren. So I'm kind of biased, but
I think if we're getting
has
two
that big game
games,
potential.
I think if we're getting 2 games, Gainwell is more consistent.
Yeah,
Like
I think just like looking at these receiving numbers, I mean, 3 weeks in a row with 7 targets. The last week of the year, you only got 4, but I mean, just that kind of target volume at running back: 8 targets week 11, 6 targets, 6 catches week 12.
He did line up offsides Sunday night, so maybe Aaron Rodgers is mad at him. I don't know.
Oh, he's dead. Never mind.
At least he's not DK.
They still won, but which Panther are we taking? Are we taking Dowdle? Or are we taking Coker?
If you would have asked me months ago, I would have said Dowdle hands down. But now I really don't know, and I almost feel like you want one of the receivers. Or
I think you want McMillan. I don't think McMillan's going to be taken that much, really. And I'm fine with Coker. Like, if you guys both want Coker, I'm fully up for it.
To me, the floor on McMillan is they immediately lose, and he does nothing in that game.
I mean, Coker's the same floor.
Probably.
Yeah, but how many Coker teams are there?
If they like Coker is the unique. Like, we're already very unique by having no Bills.
That's true.
Coker, if we want to take Coker here, we could literally just take what we think the chalk pick is at every pick from here on out.
I mean, I'm open to Coker. I was more just kind of goofing. I probably slightly lean Tet, to be honest, but I'm cool with Coker also. I view them pretty similar. I think Tet just has a better floor, but
yeah, I think it's more like 65-35, like that Tet has the better game to Coker, right? Like, I don't think it's completely out of this world that Coker, like that Tet has his 4 or 6 for 80, but Coker has 6 for 50 in the touchdown and barely outscores them in a game they lose.
Let's go T-Mac. Let's not think too much over it. There's a reason we can have him on this team, and he could end up going further than we think. At the same time, we picked Puka. We obviously think even if the crazy scenario, the Rams lose, but Puka can still give us enough to be worth starting one time.
If the Panthers get to the Super Bowl, are we going to be mad we don't have Ted?
I feel like we'd be like, oh shit, we should have taken Dowdle, because then it's just Dowdle goes on this insane run and no one can stop him.
I think if the Panthers make the Super Bowl, you're feeling pretty smart if you took any position player.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, that is correct. I think that's the right answer. What tight end do we want?
I don't mind. Well, so I don't mind Henry. I guess a lot of them are fine.
I like Brenton Strange a lot. If we're not
problem with Brenton Strange, I guess it's not really that big of a problem, but how soon can the Broncos face the Jags? And then
that they cannot play him until the championship game.
It would have to be the championship. So I guess you do get a lot of use out of a tight end in that scenario, then, which is kind of what you're looking for. And honestly, you kind of just talked me into it based on that.
Yeah, that was Brenton Strange gets targets every single week, and in the tight end premium, I think that does matter.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, he just consistently, at least he gets some work consistently.
Right. And every once in a while he throws in a touchdown, right? So
right. So do we want a second tight end at all, or do you think we're done at tight end?
I am always up for Loveland as well.
Yeah, I
Like,
think Loveland is a fun piece.
I mean, or Swift.
Swift is also fine.
Mhm.
Are we Watson again?
I'd be either Watson or I actually don't mind like
Jacobs?
Jaden Reed either. Oh, Jacobs too, yeah.
What are you
I
talking
was
about,
thinking
Paulino? What are you
I was
talking?
I mean I was thinking the disrespect on Liam's team in the pool.
Yeah, don't forget to vote in the poll here on YouTube. I forgot what it
I didn't
was,
look
but
at
it's
the poll.
something.
What is it?
Yeah, I didn't see the pool.
So,
Um,
Fanspeak
but
was on earlier today, and Steve had the Bills to the Super Bowl, and I said, "Who invited Liam?"
Okay,
Talk
so
about it.
the poll, there's 17 votes. Get
oh,
your
I
votes in.
got it.
Last second votes, 3, 2, 1. It says which team makes the AFC Championship? Jags, Texans, Patriots, or Broncos is what I put up there. Right now, it's 32% Jags, and it's pretty even after that. But yeah, I didn't include the Bills. I guess I'm a hater. But get your votes in. Last 5 seconds. If anyone wants to swing it, we got 2 more votes. We're at 19 votes. I'm gonna close it in the next 30 seconds. But just a little fun there. I always forget there's a poll, but
I do usually as well until somebody says something that was in
exactly.
the poll, and I'm like, "Oh yeah,
I usually end the stream and go, oh, I never checked the poll. Oh well.
yeah."
Yeah.
So defense here, like we're full fading Chargers and Bills, right? Talk about disrespect to Liam. We're full fading Bills in this one.
Yeah,
Uh,
easy money. I mean, I didn't hate that the Bears idea you had before. I don't know if you think it fits on this team or not, but I don't
well,
mind
like
that one.
I think it can. Like I think Bears defense is a fine thing to do.
Bears
I
defense.
I mean, it's either that or we take Loveland or Swift. Like the Bears are so wide open. Like we could just decide what else we want and figure that out as well.
If the goal is to take a defense that's not terrible, but also is attached to a team that only plays one game, I think there is some logic to picking the quarterbacks who have never played a single playoff game more often than not. If you're not assuming they go very far,
So
with
Packers.
thought being like, so it wouldn't be the Packers. You'd go like
The
it
Patriots?
could be
Are
could
you,
I mean, we can't do Patriots
you can't do
defense
Patriots because we're assuming they beat the Chargers already.
right, and we need that piece to advance.
Herbert's never won a
Right.
playoff game. That's maybe you go Chargers defense. Is that weird?
We were going to fade the Chargers.
Yeah, fade Chargers. So then you want to
I mean, if
NFC
we switch
defense.
them to a soft fade, I guess it's not a big
Uh,
because we don't want our defense to be the one making the Super Bowl anyway, right? So we
I mean,
can switch the full and the
Chicago,
soft fade.
Chicago or Green Bay are both fine, or even Philadelphia. Like if like Philadelphia defense would be okay here.
Yeah, I mean, do we can, but then we can't get Saquon, obviously. I mean, that's fine.
Right. I think
Is
we
it
do
worth-
kind of want Saquon,
If the
but like
49ers
Yeah.
win, would you want Saquon or would you want to go with one of the receivers and just kind of hope that that's hard to predict though. If they're only playing one game, is it AJ Brown or Devonta Smith?
I mean, I think if they play 2 games, you're more likely to want the receiver because
Okay.
if they play the Bears, like if they get to play like the Rams, I think that you probably want Saquon still. But like if they ended up playing the Bears, I think you kind of want a receiver instead.
Saquon or we want to receive, or I guess
You can make the pick.
what's the what's
like
or,
I
all right,
think
all right. I would
we're
leave Saquon personally. That's my.
right, and I think the Bears defense makes sense here.
I kind
And
of like
then
Paulino's idea of the Panthers. I guess we have Ted in though. Oh yeah, we have Ted.
I mean, we could do like that's the thing. Like I think most people who are going to play the Panthers, right? Yeah, like because we said pick the Super Bowl team, and Candyman said the Niners. So that means that we need Saquon for the one matchup and a one and done.
Mhm.
I do think
Right.
Carolina D is interesting.
It is. We could totally do that and then take Loveland. We could just like we could keep McMillan there and take the Bears D. Either one's fine. We could go Packers D, which is perfectly fine as well. Like I don't mind any of those Ds.
I like the what do you think about the Loveland play, Candyman? Do you prefer Love? Let's say not the Bears D, maybe either Packers or Carolina. Do we want Loveland, Burden, or Swift? Or someone else?
I think Burden is kind of a little bit too fancy. I think it's either Loveland or Swift, and I think Swift is a fine play, but he's a coin flip whether you're going to get a usable game out of him or a dud every single week. We've seen his ceiling. It's not like he's like he's not going to give you the biggest ceiling if they do win a few games, but it's not that bad either. So when it comes down to Swift for me, it's like it's tough. I almost just think you go Loveland because, well, I don't know.
Loveland has been on fire.
Loveland's been on fire, and in the tight end premium, does it take less to get to a more usable, flexible game where Swift, you're just relying on a touchdown, essentially?
Hey, Coolers has an idea too. We could go to Texans D and just pick a different kicker. But I personally like Fairbairn a lot.
Yeah. I didn't mind the Packers D. So we have one flex and a defense left. So
we
I
have
mean, I don't
the
mind.
Patriots. Actually, we could just do. Do we have Patriots winning here? Like, we have them winning. I mean, it honestly, what we do with the Patriots doesn't matter. Like, they win. Yeah, we don't want their defense because we have them moving on.
Right.
So we need this to be Packers D.
All right. That sounds pretty good.
Right.
I don't hate that play. All right. And then Henry, a running back, or Diggs, or a deep receiver? Probably not that. What do you guys have any?
I mean, we only have 2 RB, or I guess we have 3 RBs here because Gainwell's our number 2. That's how sure we are. We put him up top. Go ahead and take out McCaffrey and put Gainwell up top. Like,
all right,
this is our key play right here. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's hard to get me off Travion, but I'm pretty Travion pilled.
Like, I do like Hunter Henry Coolers, but we already have 2 tight ends. I don't really want the third.
Probably don't need 3.
It's tight end. It's literally tight end premium.
I mean, it will be like Bill's fade is pretty unique. I think if we want to switch off and do full Green Bay fade, like, I mean, like, if we weren't, like, if I was going to do a triple tight end, I'm playing James Cook.
Technically, we can start 5 tight ends.
Yeah.
It is tight end premium.
And all the tight ends are used. Like, I think we just go Travion or Diggs.
I feel like you're getting too hung up on the position. We're picking one player from each team. The position doesn't matter.
I mean, all we're doing is technically chasing points, right? And the running backs generally just score so much more.
All we're trying to do is pick the Super Bowl MVP and then just fill out a player from another team. Doesn't really matter. Just you got to make sure you have the Super Bowl MVP, whether it's the quarterback or receiver or running back. Just make sure you have that one guy. That's going to get you there probably 70% of the time.
I would say that Travion's the guy we want because of the full point PPR, but the last 2 weeks, Ramondre's got a receiving touchdown of like 30 yards.
I know. And do we go to like recency bias? But
I think Travion's still the play.
Yes.
All right.
Are
we
we okay with this? Do we want to move things around? Are you guys okay with the bow next to the Super Bowl and the full fade on the Bills?
I'm not opposed to it at all. I've seen the Bills play some completely shitty games this season.
Yeah, 100%. That's fine. Yeah. Honestly, the thing I like the least is Gainwell, and like you guys both like him quite a bit. I think I'm just being a hater though. So
the problem is, I tried to.
It's like, who do you pick instead?
I tried to start Gainwell a few times this year, and it backfired 100%. So, like, I mean, if you want to counter the Gainwell, I'm definitely open to it.
If we want to remove Gainwell, put Barkley up there and then take Steelers defense and go to Christian Watson, I would be fully okay with that too.
Here's another thought.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with Keith. I was more just talking a little shit. You guys are like I see the Gainwell stuff, and honestly, his reception numbers were kind of better than I realized lately.
And like
7 targets 3 games in a row is more than I thought, actually.
And also, like, something for playing showdowns, like, you don't really want your kicker versus a defense.
I will say this.
That's a showdown thing, though.
You would have to get 2 games out of Gainwell to equal 1 game out of Cook. And so is that what we're saying here? Because there is almost no scenario where Gainwell outscores Cook straight up and they both play only 1 game.
I mean, we've seen it before. We've seen it like a couple times.
It's just the odds that would happen is like it's so unlikely. Like Cook's floor is so much higher and his ceiling is so much higher. So I guess what I'm saying is like
we're playing Gainwell and benching Cook just straight up right now.
Yeah, why are we doing that?
Well, right. Like the reason why is for ownership reasons. Like it's 1 game. In 1 game, Gainwell can outscore Cook. Like we're trying to win a 16,000 pot.
So thin.
Like the only unique really thing we bet. Yeah, but like we're parlaying it with a lot of things that aren't thin bets.
So right? for just for reference, Gainwell's averaged half as many touches per game and on average about half as many points per game as Cook over the course of the entire season.
Right. I fully agree that James Cook is the better play.
Right.
But like we're trying to build a team to do something that's very hard to do. And like if we want to play Cook, we could like that kind of changes the entire lineup as well.
Yeah, because I guess Cook is playing against. It also comes down to individual matchups. Like it is Cook versus the Jaguars. It's Gainwell versus the Texans. How much does that matter?
Yeah, right. And like the theory is the Jags get up early. They're running the ball. They get up a couple scores, and then James Cook hasn't went off yet, and now they're passing the ball a lot. Ty Johnson's in the game a bunch. James Cook just doesn't get to play that often. And Josh Allen scores all the points. And he's quarterback 1, week 1. We don't feel great, but we have Bo Nix. And Bo Nix is going to score a little over half what he does in the Super Bowl and also get 2 more weeks so we win because he got eliminated. Like that is the route. Like and in a game that something like that happens, if James Cook scores 15 and Gainwell gets 9, but they win, like we get more points. Right? Like there is a game script that absolutely makes sense. Like that was the entire thesis of doing a full Bills fade. Like I'm fine not doing it. If we don't do it here, I'm doing it by myself. I promise you. So like, I'm gonna have a full Bills fade somewhere, and it's gonna look a lot like this with the Bo Nix and no James Cook.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it either way. I'd be fine moving it around, or I'd be fine leaving it as is.
I hear both sides. I think my point comes down to like, how many outcomes does Gainwell outscore Cook in a 1 game versus 1 game, and then do you want to be in that part of the that part of the tree, that branch? Is that where you want to be at? That you have to have had Gainwell over Cook, and then the next question just becomes: is there even a scenario where Cook is worth more in 1 game than Gainwell in 2? And to me, that's like equally as likely. So then it just becomes like which part of the outcome tree do we want to be in? We want to be in the part where Gainwell is more valuable, and I think it's more unlikely, so it's a higher risk. But that's like part of the whole thing is getting different.
There's a better chance that Cook has a complete nuke, but if Cook doesn't have a nuke week, 2 games of Gainwell is going to be more points.
But do you think
counterpoint? But what if
Do you think Gainwell though has a better chance to play
Yeah.
2 games than Cook by quite a bit?
Maybe a little.
I mean,
Well,
yeah,
like
maybe.
I totally get that. But like we built this lineup fading Texans because we have the Steelers winning, right? Like that's why we have Fairbairn. So like if we put Cook in this team, it changes all of that, right? Like if we remove Gainwell, we'd remove all of the other things. Because we change like
Change Gainwell to Cook,
we change
change
Gainwell to Cook.
Fairbairn to Cam Little.
Yeah. And
There
then
we go.
now we need a tight end, right?
We move Loveland down.
And then who do we
What team's getting rid of that? Oh, then we need a Texans piece.
Yeah, we need a Texans piece. So Nico, right? And then we're just make a chalk other than McMillan.
Well, Knicks, right? Knicks is our
Oh yeah, yeah.
is it
And yeah, that.
also. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's a bet that if Buffalo loses and Pittsburgh wins, and I think that's like I think it's like a 50-50 because I think it's like 60% that Jacksonville wins. I think it's like 40% the Pittsburgh wins, right? Like so I think that like they're opposite sides of like where I have them to win. But I think it's more like a okay chance for that to happen. Like that's the team we built. Like we built this as a squad, right? And
Yeah.
like I said, if you want to go to James Cook, we could absolutely do it, and then do all the swaps.
Yeah. It's fine. We built it. I think we keep it. There's one.
I think it's fun. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
There's I
intentionality.
mean, there's going to be holes in all of them,
Yeah.
right? Like
Listen,
what if?
Counterpoint, but what if?
Yeah, yeah, like with the Stafford thing. But what if all the touchdowns go to Puka? You know, like
Yeah.
what if Tet McMillan outscores Puka week 1 and the Rams lose? You know,
Yeah. No, I mean, and that is the one thing too. You just never know. Is like,
I-
like especially with those 2 games being so much of coin flips. Like the Bills could easily be the one that loses, and the Steelers could be going to. Yeah, I mean, they could go all the way to like the championship game even, because they're gonna
like
get
right.
decent matchups.
So few people like. I'm gonna guess Bill's full fade is very, very, very low.
Right. So
Like-
the idea on this one is if the Bills win one game, this team is dead.
Yeah,
Well, only if
like
the guys go off, I guess, right? Which I
Do
mean, they
what?
probably will. Like, I mean, they need to put up points still.
I mean,
Like, if
honestly,
Kenneth
if
Gainwell puts up a 20 and James Cook puts up a 20, this team's not dead if the Steelers are still playing too.
I mean, we are dead because we didn't get the 20 from James Cook. that
Yeah,
everybody else
because if
got.
you full
Oh,
fade,
like
the
if
team can't win. It can't
you-
play twice.
you need Josh Allen to be the one that carries them,
Right. That way, Bo
like
can just beat 'em.
because you need Bo Nix to outscore that. I think we're about done, Kelly. But thanks for listening.
I think we are. I think we're wrapping it
Yep.
on that one. Thank you all for being here on this beautiful Wednesday night. Make sure you're subscribed to Who Hames, to Hartman, to myself here, and good luck in your playoff best ball tournaments, your selections, pulling for your teams if they're still alive. And I like to remind everyone the Texans are in the playoffs and the Chiefs and the Lions are not. Who would have seen that coming? Not me. Hey, but what if?
Who didn't see it
Counterpoint.
coming?
So now, super fun. Thanks again for coming on, Who Hames and Hartman.
Yeah.
Who Hames, what's your stream schedule look like the rest of this week, sir?
I've been doing 4 p.m. every week or every day. On Fridays, I'm probably going to do one like later in the evening, 7, 8 o'clock, something like that.
Hell
But
yeah.
basically, all week, every weekday, 4 p.m. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I've been doing. Every once in a while, I don't, but that's what I try to keep to. 4 Central Time, by the way, 4 p.m.
Yes,
Central.
sir. Hartman, what's your horizon looking like? What you got coming up, bud?
Catch me when the big board drops, I guess.
Yeah,
Probably
hell yeah.
the
We were talking about that
yeah.
before the stream. We're all pretty psyched for the big board. Uh, for myself, Bindles and I are gonna be dropping Ballsy season 2. We're cooking some things up. We're doing weekly behind the scenes meetings right now. And as soon as the big board drops, we're gonna have that's gonna be the first week we go live with that. It's gonna be Monday nights again. So stay tuned for that. And then going forward, I'm gonna be streaming about 3 nights a week. So more to come. I'm gonna put out an official stream schedule probably before the big board drops, but at least by then, if not, catch me doing some PGA best ball whenever I can get my hands on it. Maybe tomorrow night, maybe Friday night, but I'm lining up a guest or two for the next week. We've got exactly a week until the Sony Open and the start of the PGA season for 2026. So catch me doing some PGA best ball, some NFL best ball coming real soon. Thanks again, gents, for coming on. And everyone have a great week. Have a great night. Peace out.